What's up, what's up, what's up, my fellow creators? Welcome, guys. I hope you're having a beautifully, phenomenally blessed day. It is Scorpio season. I'm super stoked. My moon is in Scorpio. I always love Scorpio seasons. Definitely the season for transformation, rebirth, and letting go. I just want to thank you guys for coming in for a moment for Becky's House of Cards. And today we are going down the rabbit hole with a pick a card reading on what's to come in the next month. I'm just going to call this the next month because some of you guys might click on this next month or the month after, whenever it is that you guys click on it. And the reason I'm saying in the next month is because it is a timeless reading. Currently, we are on Halloween Day, so happy Halloween to those of you that are here with me in this time. And for those of you, wherever you're at, I hope you're having a beautiful day. So please like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel down below, set that notification bell so you always know when the next video does go live. With that being said, I just want to thank you to all of my OGs, all of my new Gs, anybody who gives me your time and your space. Just know that you are truly appreciated, and I love you guys, and I'm so happy that you are here with me. I'm going to turn on this light over here. All right, yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, you guys can see it, like my little bow that I found over here. So you guys, my prayer is that any video of mine that you guys watch, that it does fall upon your heart in a way that reminds you to take back your power, to use your intuition and your discernment, and to make the choices that best serve you in this now moment, to live your best journey. All right, so with that being said, we'll go ahead and get into it, guys. I have got everything set up. I also have some new cards that I made. So we have, this is the emotional clarifying deck. So it has a whole bunch of different emotions in there. And this is just something because it helps me really pinpoint where it is that you are. And then I do just have a deck that I made that there's really no rhyme or reason as to what's in here. It's just what was getting channeled. So kind of like the ghetto bag. So we can call that the ghetto deck. So I'll call that the ghetto deck. How about that, guys? We've got the ghetto bag, of course, out here. And we're going to get into it. So source, what messages do you have for the collective? Pick a card, 1, 2, and 3, for what's coming in the next month. For whenever they click on this, what messages do you have for the collective? Pick a card reading, 1, 2, and 3, for what's coming in the next month. What is coming in the next month for the general collective? Pick a card reading, 1, 2, and 3. What's coming for them in the next month? The collective, pick a card readings, 1, 2, and 3. Source, how can we help them out? Okay, here, one more here. What do they need to know coming up in the next month? What's coming up for them? Pick a card reading, 1, 2, and 3. So for pile 1, what's coming out in the next month, source? Okay, those two want to come out, so I'll take them. Okay. And for pile number 2, what's coming up in the next month for pile number 2, source? Okay, they want this one. Thank you. And what's coming up for pile number 3s in the next month? Wow, thank you. Make sure they're all in frame, okay? More for pile number 1. What's coming up in the next month? Thank you, source. Okay, and pile number 2. What's coming up in the next month? Thank you, source. And pile number 3. What's coming up in the next month? Pile number 3. Okay, these two want to come out. I think I'm going to do 4 cards today. One last card for pile number 1. What's coming up in the next month, source? Pile number 1, what's coming up in the next month? Pile number 1, what's coming up in the next month, source? Okay, they want this one. Okay, pile number 2, what's coming up in the next month? Pile number 2, what's coming up in the next month? Okay, they want this one, and I think they want this one because it was trying to fall out up here. So, and last messages for pile number 3, what's coming up in the next month? Yeah. So I always know when I take the right cards, or I'm always confused because the next one, source throws them out. They're like, nope, here we come. Okay, interesting. Wow. So I'm just going to show you guys before I get into it. And I like to do this for those of you that watch, because I feel like you guys offer me your time to watch the shuffle. So I'm going to do this for you. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Justice in reverse, the Three of Cups in reverse, the Hangman in reverse, and the Three of Coins in reverse. So there's definitely a feeling of injustice here. Like somebody is judging you based on something that they themselves are doing. So whether that is maybe you're not as active as you used to be, and someone's like, oh, well, you need to be more active. Like, this is just an example, guys. Okay. And I feel like it is family. I feel like with this Three of Cups here, it's a sense of being, this could be a parent, this could be a grandparent, this could be an auntie and uncle, is somebody that has authority in your life. And I use that term loosely because obviously when you become an adult, people don't really have authority over us anymore, but they feel like they do, and they feel like they can control you. So maybe it's like you're cleaning and you just didn't clean as deeply as you usually clean, and so they started writing you about it. But there's some sort of injustice like that here. It's like a bigoted assessment. There's somebody that's judging you based on something that they themselves are not doing, right? And your perspective right now is skewed. Like, you're really upset about it. You're really pissed off, honestly. I'm just going to say, like, with this Hangman energy here, I'm definitely getting this energy being angry about what's going on. You're like, you know what? You guys don't even know. Stop trying to tell me like you know how my life is. And Source is just saying, like, remember that this is just a mirror. So if this is triggering you, it's just something that you need to release, which is what they're bringing out with the Three of Coins here. It's just letting it go. Realizing there's a lesson here. The lesson, honestly, I feel like comes down to just your perspective, right? It's just, it's allowing your perspective to alter so that you can understand that these people aren't trying to be like that toward you intentionally. It's more of a subconscious response because you're triggering something within them that they too are triggering within you. And sometimes that's a hard place to look at, right? It's like Source is just saying, though, don't be in such a huff to really like yell and scream at them. Rather, get in control of your emotions, look at things from a higher perspective, and walk away accordingly. And that's not for all of you guys to walk away. This is for those of you that do need to walk away. But there's something that's going on that someone is judging you based on something that they do. This could be a lover that's cheating. This could be a third-party situation that you've gotten yourself involved into. Whatever it is, it's like this is somebody that's trying to make you feel guilty for doing something that they're already doing themselves. And so Source is just asking you, instead of getting mad about it, just look at things from a higher perspective. You're going to have multiple choices coming in soon, so don't be so angry towards them. Today I'm going to lay out dice for you guys to choose from. So when I rolled them out, it was interesting. 11 and 12 came out. So I just went ahead and did 10, 11, and 12. So on pile number 1, I'm going to do the number 10. Let me see if I can get that to focus. There we go. And this color dice right here. Okay. For pile number 2, we're going to do 11. And this colored dice right here. And for pile number 3, we're going to do 12. Come on. There we go. And this colored dice right here. So you have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. If you guys need more time, pause the video, take your time. There's no rush for anything, honestly. But I am going to go ahead and move on to pile number 1. So it's just funny that the dice fell out that way. I just grabbed them and that's how they fell out. So it's just, I love when Source does stuff like that. It's definitely a beautiful sign. But for you guys to pick number 10, this is starting off with this energy of completion. This light blue telling me that it's time for you to really connect with that deeper inner truth. It's like being crystal clear on exactly what you want and when you want it, and not even the how. This is just on what you want and being crystal clear about that, and not being afraid to voice that out, and not being afraid to show that to the world. Completing cycles, right? Letting go of curses, letting go of beliefs, letting go of anything that might not be serving you in this time. Definitely with number 10 coming out here. So I'm going to put that up there. But so what's in the month ahead? What can you expect in the month ahead? Let's see what we got coming out. Okay, we've got the 10 of Wands in the reverse. Okay, we have the Page of Wands in the upright. The Knight of Swords in the upright. And the Page of Pentacles coming in. Beginning something new. You guys are letting go. I love how we have this synchronicity. You guys pick 10 and we start with a 10. I love that. That is absolutely beautiful. With the 10 of Wands being in reverse, it's like you are learning what is weighing on your shoulders. Like, what is keeping you from loving yourself? You know, what did I say? Like, this is all about asking what you want and being clear and concise about that, right? And with this 10 of Wands in the reverse next to this Page of Wands, it's like you're like taking a step out of this energy that's keeping you blocked, that's keeping you stuck. It's like, basically, look, if these situations aren't going to work for me anymore, if they're going to cause a lot of chaos for me, I'm walking away. It's like, yes, maybe it does feel like a responsibility to me, but I'm done with that because I don't feel like ultimately it is my responsibility. Do you see? It's like you're in this energy of like, I'm done feeling like everybody else and everything else out there is my responsibility. And I'm going to take a step towards something that is very passionate for you. This is something that's very like driven within you. And I feel like this is a heart inspiration that you have received. This is something that has been a download from Source. And Source keeps telling you, if you take this step, even if you don't feel like a professional, okay, even if you don't feel like a professional at it, as long as you take this step, you're going to realize that it's something that you can ground into this reality that you're going to be able to experience and have fulfillment with. And I feel like it's also going to bring out another side of your creativity with it. It's like you're going to be able to grow beyond it, and you're going to be able to incorporate whatever it is that you're trying to take a step towards. You're going to incorporate that into future situations, future projects, future beliefs, you know, future life. It's going to all come back around full circle, which 10 is definitely about, you know. And in Mother Nature, number 10 is literally the number of when the tree has already bore its fruit, right? You've got the apples, and the apples are full and they're ready to be picked. And number 10 is when the apple falls from the tree, it decomposes and it leaves a seed for the next generation, right? That's like starting a new generation. That's why it is the end of cycles, because it's like letting go of the old so that you can begin the new. And then with the Page of Coins here, it's like planting the seed while realizing what you've harvested from the past. Okay, and this is good energy. Like, this is beautiful energy to be in. Already though, it's like you feel like you're not good enough to do it. And there's going to be something that happens in the next month that you're just kind of like, you know what? I might not feel good enough to do it, but I have to start somewhere. How can I ever get to where I'm going if I don't just start? Like, that's the attitude that I feel you're taking on. And so you end up becoming your own hero, you know, with the Knight of Swords. He rushes in as somebody's hero, but in this, I feel like these are all you. It's like you're very much in this beginning stage here, but then you also step up into realizing that you're coming out of the Page of Swords energy into the Knight of Swords energy, and realizing that it is up to you to rush in to save yourself from past experiences. There's no longer sitting in this energy of like, I have to put up with this, you know, I have to do this. So let's get some clarifying cards out. Can I please get a clarifying card for this 10 of Wands? Thank you, Source. So we have the 8 of Coins in the reverse. Societal constructs here. Feeling like you have to do what it is that you're doing just so that you can fit into what society says that you fit into. But the problem is that it's making you feel restless, and it's making, like, I heard cabin fever when I turned this over. Yeah, look, so this could be a commitment that you have, and the commitment is making you feel restless and like again, this conforming, right? We have the 8 of Coins here with this the Pope in the reverse. It's like conforming what people say you have to be in. And it's this energy that's making you feel like, I can't handle this anymore. So it's like you're ready to come up into a place of being able to offer something more emotional and letting the sunshine on those secrets that have been keeping you in a place where people have ulterior motives for you, right? Learning how to open up to taking a new decision, taking a new path, and in that, making a decision for yourself, realizing that the past is not what holds you back, but realizing that ultimately, you're the one that held you back. But this is energy of feeling like you have to conform to what society is, and that's what the real burden was here. It wasn't the fact that maybe you have kids and you're taking care of kids. It had nothing to do with the kids, right? And it really ultimately had nothing to do with whomever you've been with. And it had nothing else to do with anybody outside of you other than the fact that for so long, you really put it on your own shoulders to take on everybody else's ordeal. So let's go back to the kids, right? So say that one of the kids has a problem at school. It's like, instead of helping them learn to problem solve, it was like you basically took on that problem and you went to the school and you solved it for them. And it's like learning in this is just an example, so you guys can take it as it resonates with your situation, right? But it's like learning in that situation that, wow, I'm actually doing my child a disservice by trying to solve their problems for them. And in turn, it's making you feel hopeless, because it's like you feel like they never learn their lesson, and you're kind of in this weird energy of like, why aren't they learning their lessons? But at the same time, it's because society is telling you that it's your job to build things for them. And then suddenly you get this download, this inspiration where you're like, oh wow, like I actually need to let them figure it out on their own, because otherwise they're not going to be able to do this when they get out into the real world. Yeah, so we have the Popess coming out in the reverse, clarifying the Page of Wands. So I feel like, again, this belief that you have to appear a certain way to society, this is when she comes out in reverse. She's turned her back on her spirituality, right? Judgment on the bottom. Yeah. So you like for a time have turned yourself away from your spiritual growth. Like it's almost like you didn't want to grow spiritually, because when you were growing spiritually, people were judging you. And you didn't like that judgment, and that kind of kept mirroring to you thinking about the future. Like, what if people judge me in the future? What if people really like make fun of me because I want to be spiritual instead of religious, or I want to be spiritual and bring that spirituality to others? You know, like I definitely get a humanitarian feeling from you guys. Some of you guys could be Virgos, and some of you guys could be Aquarius. You could be any sign really, right? Like it doesn't matter, but I just felt like I needed to say that to some of you guys that are very humanitarian by nature. It's sometimes very hard to get away from societal beliefs. It's because you're people pleasing the wrong type of society. Does that make sense? And so I feel like this is coming out clarifying the Page of Wands, because this has not just been the first time that you've gotten this inspirational download. You've gotten this inspirational download many, many times. And I feel like every time it comes, you're like, man, that would be so cool if I could do that. Like, and then it's kind of like, you're like, yeah, well, that's it. That's all it is. And so then you go back to doing whatever it was you were doing and taking care of everybody else. And this time around, it's like the inspiration is coming, and it's going to come in so strong that it's like going to force you to look, both of these have to do with conforming to what society says. When we got the Pope on the bottom of the deck in the reverse, again, conforming to what society says you have to do. And it's like, I feel like you're going to really read into why you feel like you have to conform to what everybody else is saying. And in that, you're going to understand that, wow, I really have let others determine the outcome of my journey instead of just taking it on for myself. And that's why Judgment, look, yeah, you're going to find hope. You're going to change your life, and you're going to let go of toxic situations. Look at this. Beautiful, right? It's like there was a toxic, this is like toxic way of being treated, and you're going to let that go. Like you're going to, it's like overcoming that. Like, I'm done with this. I'm done trying to feed into one-sided relationships. I'm done trying to impress everybody else. I would rather, get out of this confused energy and not being clear. And I want my own justice, right? Like that's the energy that you're coming in. And it's like, I'm done letting people judge me. Who cares if they're going to judge me? Like there's going to be this shift. Even if you don't feel that right now, pile one, there's going to be this shift that comes that you're like, wow, I really was letting others determine what I was doing. Thank you, Source. Yeah, Temperance in the reverse to clarify the Knight of Swords in the upright. I'm just baffled, honestly, right now. Like, I get why it's coming out. I'm just baffled because it's like, again, coming back to not wanting to heal. So there's been a family situation that came up. Yeah, there's something that's going on in your family right now. Look at this. So we have the Four of Cups and the Ace of Cups, which also comes out to the Five of Cups. So there's something important about networking here that you need to do. But there's also something that you need to realize and give your inner child self-love, which is why the Knight of Wands is rushing back into the past, right? Really towards this Knight of Wands, or this Page of Wands here, right? Because the pages can equal children. Right? This could be from our childhood. I feel like this is something you like doing since you were a child. But it's been hard for you to really get into it because you're understanding that you've let other people determine the outcome for you. And yet at the same time, it's like, yeah, you understood that. And maybe you've understood that for some time, but healing that was an entirely different situation. It's almost like the energy that I'm getting from this Temperance is in reverse is like, when I finally heal, then... Do you see? And it's like, rather than just saying, I am healing, I am overcoming it. And how am I healing and overcoming it? By just doing what I know I need to do. And that's why Source is bringing these out together, because so you could have a love coming in with this Ace of Cups, but honestly feel like this is you learning to love yourself. And in learning to love yourself, you find emotional stability, you find emotional freedom, you find emotional fulfillment. Right? And so what ends up happening is that you end up attracting a lot of people because of that. You guys are definitely meant to be out in the limelight some way, shape, or form, whatever that means to you. That could just be a community, or that could be in front of millions. Do you see? It doesn't matter. But there's this energy of being out and inspiring others to do the same thing, to find source love, to find self-love, right? Source love and self-love go hand in hand. We have a hard time feeling the love of source when we don't love ourselves, because it's like this belief of like, if I can't love myself, then how could anyone, even this unknown entity, love me unconditionally, right? And so when the Ace of Cups comes out, it looks like this cathedral, right? Like a Catholic cathedral here. And that, to me, always gives me that energy of really, truly connecting with source on a deeper level, emotionally, not just in communication, not just showing up in action, not just showing up and being there, right? This is building, right? It's like building an emotional connection with source, and that in turn is what brings you into this place of emotional fulfillment. And I feel like the reason that you've been in this broken hearted energy with the Temperance in reverse here is because somebody broke your heart. And I feel like this somebody was somebody that you love deeply. And this could be, again, I keep getting in your past, like this could have been a first love. Somebody that you thought was for you. And then when you really brought up the spiritual side of yourself, like they kind of just disowned you. So I'm definitely getting it's when you were young. You could have been an adolescent. May I please have a clarifying card for the Page of Coins? Whoa, thank you. Hangman coming out. Isn't that funny? We had the Hangman come out in the short read during... If you guys didn't watch the shuffle, you're welcome to go watch the shuffle. I usually do short reads in the shuffle on the bottom of the deck. And that's just an overall energy. And I do that for the people who choose to watch me shuffle. So just so your time wasn't wasted just on watching shuffle. So I love that the Hangman came out here. This is all about you learning to trust source and not being swayed by that. You know, the Hangman is such an interesting character because he does things differently. He's kind of like the jester of the deck, right? Because nobody can predict what it is that he's going to do next. And the whole reason that he's hanging upside down is because he wants to see the whole world, not just his situation, but the whole world around him from a different aspect. Well, what better way to do that than to look at it upside down, right? And so he hangs upside down, trying to find guidance from that. And I love the symbology in this because it's like trusting source to hold him up. This is like a canyon here, right? And it's like trusting source. This branch up here would represent source. And it's like you tie yourself emotionally to source. And of course, this is a Piscean energy coming out here. We have Sagittarius, Pisces, Cancer, Virgo energy here, okay? But you have this Piscean energy here, and it's always all about the ups and the downs. And it's like, it doesn't matter what ups and what downs I have, as long as I trust in my creator. Again, coming back to that self, coming back to that place of faith, right? I know things are going to work out for me. I know I'm always going to have inspiration. I know I'm always going to have enlightenment. You know, he definitely represents a different stage of enlightenment here. Ascension. There's all kinds of stages of ascension. So people tell you ascend one time, like, just, I want you guys to understand ascension is a lifelong process. You're constantly growing, because there is no way we can ever get to the end result. Even if we lived for hundreds of thousands of years, you know, we would still always have room to grow. That's just the way it is, because we're abundant. It's an infinite universe. There is no end result. And so the hangman really personifies that and brings in this energy of like realizing that it doesn't matter what other people think. What matters is, am I in my own frame? Am I doing what I like to do? And it's like you use this to fuel you seeing things from a different perspective. And that's when source brings in this opportunity for you. And you learn to plant seeds in a way that's like, I understand it's going to take time to cultivate and to grow them, but that's okay, because I know at the same time that's building my character in such a way. And what did I say? Like, I felt like this was a family situation or a first love. And so we have the 3 of Cups coming out on the bottom here. This is classifying neglect from parents, because you were the one that was always showing up for your parents. Like, your parents didn't know how to show up for you emotionally because they were emotionally disconnected. Yeah. And look at that. Because of that, this is going to help you. Again, Piscean energy. We have Cancerian energy here. This is going to help you step up into your King of Cups energy, to be emotionally mature, to understand why you feel the way that you feel, and knowing that you don't just have to give love willy-nilly. Compassion is one thing, but love is another thing entirely, and that you don't have to give it away freely, but you can also see how being in this situation is what made you grow. Right? And that's ultimately what you want. So let's get, may I please have an emotional clarifier for group 1, for pile 1 source. Okay, that one wants to come out. It's funny because this was on the bottom. Let me just check and make sure that's the one that they want. Was this the card that you wanted for pile number 1 source? These cards are different. They don't like fall out like my other cards. So. Okay, yeah, that's the one they want. So exhausted. Like, I feel like, and this makes sense, especially with this 10 of Wands up here and the 8 of Coins, both reversed. You're just in this emotionally exhausted frame where it's like everybody, like, you've just done so much for everybody else. Like I said, like, this is that conforming. It's why I gave that initial energy of, you know, you have a kid and it's like you're solving their problems. My mom did that for us, for me and my brother, when we were growing up. And when we both got to be adults, it's like anytime anything happened that would have been, if we had problem solving energies as a kid and allowed to solve our own problems, we would have been able to handle. But instead, both of us would always run to mom because I didn't know how to solve my own problems. Like, that's something I didn't learn until I was in my late 20s. You know, like, it took a long time. And that's something that it made mom feel good. But at the same time, I think it frustrated her too, because it's like, just when she would maybe get some time for herself, then suddenly here we come and there is, hey mom, we need your help. You know, like, she never had a break. She never got a break. So let's get some energy, or let's get some messages from the ghetto deck. Remember, I'm calling it the ghetto deck. Okay, those 2 want to come out. Let's see what we got. Yeah, Pitbull. Misunderstood. So this is what started the deck. Okay, I just want you guys to know, since you guys are the first ones that I'm pulling this for, is you guys. People misunderstood. This was actually the first card that I wrote out. And it was the whole reason that I got these cards so that I could do it, was because I recently adopted a pit bull. And I just remember, like, having her here has shown me how much this breed is misunderstood, which I've always known. But just truly having her and realizing that there's some of your own internal fears that you have to overcome. And so being misunderstood isn't just for other people misunderstanding you. This is also being misunderstood, you misunderstanding yourself, right? Trying to be the hero to everyone else when in reality, you have to become the hero to yourself. Okay, see yourself as marriage material. So this is saying to see yourself as a much higher being, a being of light and love. Seeing yourself as like, I'm not girlfriend and side chick, or I'm not boyfriend and side boy material. I am marriage material. I am a gem, a diamond in the rough, right? So I feel like I want to get one more here. And I think that that's what's going to help inspire you to change your perspective on your journey, and realizing that whatever you desire and ask for in life is okay. Even if that is like stability, like if you don't want to date somebody, you'd rather be married to somebody, like that's okay. Like, I just think I need to bring that up for some people, because people are like, oh, you got to go through dating. You got to go through that. Yeah, you do. But dating doesn't necessarily mean coming into a space of being boyfriend, girlfriend material, right? That just means you're getting to know someone to see if you're compatible. And then say after 6 months, they're like, hey, let's make this official. Will you go steady with me? I think is the thing. You can say no, because I'm not looking to be a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Like, I want marriage, but if you don't want marriage, that's fine. I'm going to keep other people. Do you see? It's like keeping your options open. Like, not falling victim to the fact that you have to settle for the first thing that comes around. I feel like this one wants to come out. Study ancient wisdom. You will begin to find your own answers. Yeah, so Source is just saying, like, again, coming back to that energy of becoming your own hero, right? With this Knight of Swords in the upright. This is you becoming your own hero. So you guys could be in a toxic relationship too, because on the bottom we have stop lying to yourself just so you can stay. So there's definitely toxic energy coming from this. I want to get 2 of these. Can I please have some oracles for pile 1? Thank you. One more, Source. Okay, thank you. What do we have coming out on the bottom? Breathe. Yeah, definitely reiterating that there might be a toxic situation around you that you're staying in. It's creating a situation where it's fight or flight. And Source is just reminding you to come back to your breath. Your breath is connected to your heart, and really truly finding space to take 10 deep breaths slowly as you can, because that will actually clear your head. You know, breath is our way to connect with Source. And sometimes just doing a breath work exercise can change everything for you and get you out of that fight or flight mode and back into understanding, right? Look, new moon, promise, beautiful. Yeah, so I feel like if you're staying in a situation that's toxic for you, right, because of childhood neglect, Source is saying when you're studying this ancient wisdom, you see yourself as marriage material, and you understand that maybe you've misunderstood yourself this whole time, right? This is not about blaming other people, because if you've ever had a pit bull, they're like the most loving creatures you could ever know. Like my dad has a pit bull mix. She's a pitty mix. Also, she's crossed with American Bulldog, and she's like the most loving dog ever. And then with mine that I just got, Angel, she is like, in the morning I wake up and she lays across my head just so that she can kiss me and love on me in the morning. Like, that's how we've woken up every morning since she's come to live with me. And so they're just saying, like that love that comes from within them is unconditional. They see you as an unconditional, loving love being in their life. And that's why I feel like misunderstood here is coming out, because it's saying that not to misunderstand yourself and just settle for something just so that you have something to fulfill this wound that you had when you were a child, because you have something that's coming, and the promise that's yours is like, this is going to be something that you didn't even expect coming. With see yourself as marriage material, I think somebody's going to come rushing in and offer you something, And it doesn't have to be a partnership, right? This could be a friendship. This could be a business situationship. Whatever it is, you're going to feel as though you finally belong with other people, and you're not going to feel so misunderstood because this person's going to come in and just understand you. Look, what did I say? Didn't I say this was a childhood wound and we have childhood innocence coming? Thank you so much, Source. Just thank you for clarifying. I love when that stuff happens. So beautiful. But this is about letting go of the darkness from the past and letting the sun shine back on your inner child, right? And again, what I was getting with this Page of Wands energy was just, this is something from childhood that you just love so much. Like, it's something that maybe people were like, oh no, you're not gonna. So I'm getting told to give this as an example. You wanted to be a singer, right? This is just an example. This is what they're telling me to tell you. You wanted to be a singer, and when you were a child, man, you practiced, you showed up every day, you worked really hard at it, and your family's like, oh, that's cute that you want to be a singer, but then they would always follow up with, but in case that doesn't work out, what do you really want to be? But you see what I'm saying? Like, it was like all along, they just basically assumed that you were going to fail. And that really hurt you. And so it was like, you kind of just shied away from it. And now that you're growing and you're like, man, I really love to sing. And again, just an example, guys, Source is saying, go ahead and fall into that because you're going to be so surprised at what comes from it, right? Okay, so what do we got? Joan Collins. I love this. Beauty is power. Use it rather than lose it. Yeah, so again, finding the beauty in who you are, learning to love yourself unconditionally, seeing yourself as a loving being, because that's where real beauty comes from. It doesn't come from a pretty face or a pretty body. Real beauty comes from actually accepting our own inner light and the quirky weirdness of who we are. It says age is just a number, irrelevant unless it's a vintage wine. Beautiful. This is so perfect to what's happening now. It's like you feel like you lost all that time from when you were a child. Like, if I'd only just stuck with it and stayed with it, I'd be so much further. And she's just coming out saying it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have to start now with what you have. She says everyone is a potential character for a novel. So some of you guys could write. But I feel like this too is just saying that don't take life so damn seriously, because it's when you take it so seriously that you lose hope in life. Really, you do. You lose hope in life and you become jaded because it's like it feels like everybody's out to get you when really, like, nobody's free from sin, right? Like, I just want people to realize that even with empaths, like, I kind of get tired of people being like, oh, I'm an empath, I'm always the victim. And it's like, well, you have to understand, if you were in a toxic relationship, right? I was with a narcissist for 8 years. So at what point, I thought I was the victim for such a long time. And then one day I had to ask myself, well, if they were toxic for me, then doesn't that mean that I was toxic for them? You see what I'm saying? Nobody's free from sin. Not even us empaths. Like, sometimes we're the worst ones because we want to be victims, right? And Source is saying, like, look, it's just don't take life so seriously. Like, if you were watching your life as a movie, it'd be more of an entertainment situation than it would be so serious. So can you bring yourself into that entertainment energy? Addiction. Yeah, you're letting go of addictions. Right? And I think people are like, but I'm not addicted to anything. And it's like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a physical addiction. Right? This could be addiction to a way of being treated. This could be addiction to family. This could be addiction to a lover. This could be addiction to, you know, again, feeling neglected and feeling like you have to be their savior. That's an addiction. And people don't talk about stuff like that on the spiritual journey because everybody thinks addiction is something that's physical, sex, drugs, you know, or alcohol. And it's like, it doesn't necessarily mean that. You know, you can be addicted to anything and without realizing it, you know. Personally, here's a little bit of personal story that I just found out. But if you guys have been following me for any amount of time, you know that I went through a sexual abuse situation, and it was really harrowing for me. And it was a heavy situation to carry on my shoulders for so long. And I went celibate I've been celibate. Tomorrow will mark my 20-month celibacy journey. And, it's in going celibate that I've learned so much about myself. But what I learned recently in the last 2 weeks is that unknowingly I had become a sex addict because I was using sex as a way to kind of overcome the emotional ego wounding that I had from when I was sexually abused, when I was raped. And to understand that I was in a place of being a sex addict without actually knowing it until that moment that it came to me, like it kind of blew my mind. And so before, if you guys have also followed me on my narcissist series, you know that I talk about the Stockholm syndrome, and I had an addiction to my ex. And overcoming that addiction was very hard. I think I had to overcome that addiction first before I could ever even understand and know what it was that was truly one of my deepest addictions, which was sex. And I didn't know that, right? Look, beautiful energy. You are worthy of loving yourself. Again, coming in, loving yourself unconditionally. This is, stop being so exhausted with people and like letting people take your energy that aren't worthy of your energy. Like, I know it's hard sometimes, right? Your destiny is to become. Yeah, so it's like you're fighting something right now, and it's like not letting yourself uncover who you are. It's like fighting that discovery. And it's like, so there's a squirrel outside, guys. They're saying to have fun. They're saying to have fun. And so this is just reminding you that it's not about how far you could be. It's about where you are. It doesn't matter. What, like, I think that's a thing that really hurts you the most, is that you're in this energy. Well, if only I had stuck with it, then where would I be? And Source is just kind of saying like, but you didn't. And so you're not. So instead of focusing on the past, because the past is the past and the future is the future, all you can focus on is this now moment. And how can you start right now doing what you love? Even if it's 5 minutes right now after this reading. How much different could your life be in a year just based on that 5 minutes? Okay. Yes. Let go of control and enjoy the ride. Guys, I cannot make this up. Let's see if that'll focus. Come on. There we go. Let go of control and enjoy the ride. Exactly. That's what Source is saying. Like, stop thinking about what happened in the past. Rather, just let the adventure unfold. Isn't that beautiful in itself? I mean, it might not unfold exactly the way that you want it to, but that's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is just to enjoy. Look, I love this. Source, like, just totally clarifying everything. Why so serious? Look at that. Why so serious? Why so serious? Why are you so serious about life? Like, stop being so serious and enjoy yourself. Again, with the squirrel running by the window just now, I had no idea that was out. You guys, I see it as you see it. It's exciting, right? Like, it's just neat. So, I'm obsessed out of codependency. So, I think this is the connection that you're in. And I feel like you're obsessed with this connection. That's the addiction. Okay? And don't get mad, guys. Like, it's not about being upset or me even calling you out. Because it's not about that. Like, this is literally just saying that you don't realize that you're codependent on this energy. And I feel like that's what's going to come to light. It's just realizing that you've been in this situation for so long, lying to yourself. And it's just like so that you can stay. And again, it's being concerned with the way the outside world views you. And again, that's that energy of letting others determine your life. And the reason that you're in that determination of letting others determine your life, you're in that energy of letting others determine your life, is because you went through childhood neglect. And that doesn't necessarily mean that your parents left you. In some instances, that could very well be what that means, right? But in honesty, childhood neglect is if you were the one that was emotionally supporting your parents. You know, people don't realize that until later on. That happened with me. My dad worked 3 jobs and my mom was the one at home, and she felt lonely all the time because my dad was always at work, but my dad couldn't not go to work because he had to support us. So it was like a vicious cycle, but because my mom was alone, I ended up growing up very mature, very early, because my brother, being an Aries, he just, he was the baby of the zodiac. I'm a Pisces. I'm the elder of the zodiac. I learned at an early age what I could do to help, quote unquote, fix people. And so I leaned on that, and I thought, when I would fix my mom and make her feel better for the day, I felt like I'd accomplished something. What I didn't realize was happening, of course, how could I, was that when that did happen, it was actually creating an imbalance in our relationship where I was the one that was emotionally supportive of my mom. And then, not that my mom wasn't emotionally supportive of me. She was a Cancer. Of course she was, the mother of the zodiac. But that she couldn't return what kind of favor I had done for her because she was in this energy of always feeling hurt. And so it was easier for her to kind of lash out as crabs do sometimes, right? And that's nothing bad. I'm not mad at her for it. I've totally had, my mom was the first person I forgave on this journey. And, you know, like going through that, it just taught me a lot. It taught me that I gave where I wasn't giving to myself. I was giving to everybody else because I was afraid of abandonment. Well, why was I afraid of abandonment? Well, I felt like I had been abandoned. I was emotionally abandoned as a child. I saw my brother getting supported and I wasn't supported. And, you know, like it was just all these things. And so the more I thought that I wasn't getting supported, the more I saw that. And I didn't know how that correlated to one another, right? Because children are magnificent manifestors and we hardly realize that, right? And as adults, we stop believing and we're like, you'll see a child manifest something and you're like, how did they manifest that? Well, because they're so connected to source and we forget that as adults, right? So as a child, believing that I was not wanted really set the tone for me being in a situation where I wasn't wanted. It's not that my family didn't want me, right? It's the fact that I had created that situation by believing it. And so that's what Source, I think, is pointing out here. It's like, what situation have you created in your life carrying all these responsibilities because you believe that that's what it is? So your perspective really just comes down to seeing things in a whole new light. We have the star being brought out as I split the deck, right? Finding hope in a situation that was once hopeless. It's not hopeless where you're at. There's something beautiful and powerful that you're learning, but are you willing to learn it? Like, that's really at the end of the day. So what's coming for you over the next month? You're going to get into a mindset where you really truly focus on yourself. And that's a beautiful place to be at. I think you're going to stop being everybody's hero and you're going to let people figure it out on their own. You know, people pleasers, we have a hard time. I know, I'm a recovering people pleaser. Right here, y'all. Hi, my name is Becky. I'm 35 years old and I'm a recovering people pleaser. Hi, Becky. You know, like honestly, guys, there's just this energy of realizing that you have to let go of what's no longer serving you, because when you stop people pleasing, people actually get more attracted to you rather than feeling like you're always pushing people away. And as a people pleaser, I felt like nobody wanted me in their life because everybody that I'd known left. There comes that abandonment. So something I had to deal with. So your guys' reading went a lot longer than I was planning on, but I really hope that this brought you some clarity. I'm sending you guys out so much light and love, and good luck with your next month. You're coming into a beautiful energy, so own that. And like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel down below, set that notification bell so you always know when the next video does go live. And until next time, go forth boldly, my fellow creators, and courageously find creative ways to rise above in life, laughter, and love. Until we see each other next time. Mwah. Peace out. I love y'all. Bye. Pile number 2. So for those of you that chose this 11, let me see if I can get it to focus. There we go. So 11 for me is all about just doing what you need to do, right? You have the gateway. It's like walking through the gateway that Source has created. You know, I know everybody says it's a master number for twin flames. Let's pull away from that for just a little bit and refocus on ourselves, okay? I feel like this is Source asking you to go through the gateway. This is Source asking you to do what they've asked you to do, to become the servant. And part of our life is about serving Source and just knowing that once we serve Source, everything will just kind of work out for us. And that's sometimes a hard place to come from because it's about having faith. You know, 1 is all about having faith. 2 is about trusting the process. So you have 1 here twice. So again, it's like relying on that inner faith. And then you do have 2 here, which is again, trusting that Source will come through for you every time. Stop focusing on just trying to find love is what I heard. So for those of you in pile 2, I think maybe you guys may be too focused on finding love in your life. And it's actually creating a lot of resistance for you on the journey. And it's creating a little bit of a situation where you're having to repeat certain cycles. Okay, and so Source is saying, like, let's just focus on self for a while. Do what you need to do. Don't be in this energy of, you know, oh, I gotta have love. If I don't have love, something's wrong with me. Okay. With this deep blue color, I know that it's blue and it's not really purple, but it's so weird because when I pick this up, I do get a connection with the third eye chakra coming through and saying that it's time for you to connect with your intuition and your inner eye. Not believing in what you see with your eyes, but believing what you know to be true in your heart. You know, the intuitive knowing that we get first goes through the third eye so that it can filter through our heart, come back up to the third eye, and then be projected out, right? So the heart chakra and the third eye chakra go hand in hand with one another. They are what we guide ourselves through with life, right? If you're not feeling into life, you're not seeing. And if you're not seeing, then you're not feeling. Do you see what I'm saying? So let's see what's coming out for you guys, pile 2, in the next month. We have the Pope coming out. Interesting. We're talking about marriage, and here comes the Pope. Here comes the Pope. Okay, we have the 5 of Swords, or 5 of Wands in the reverse. 5 and 5. All right, cool. The Sun in the reverse. All right, and we have interesting. We have 10, and this is 10. This is a number 19 card, and 1 plus 9 is 10. And then we have this 7 of Swords in the upright. All right, so again, Source just reiterate. I had no idea what your cards were. And Source showing again, focusing on self and not on love. And I feel like this is coming out just to show you that right now you are focused on finding a forever person. Like there's definitely this energy of being stuck on finding the person that's meant for you. You want commitment. You need commitment almost. It's like I feel like I need commitment in my life. Like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? Why can't I find someone to commit? Like, and commit fully. Like, it's not just a commitment. It's like, I need somebody to commit and see me for who I am. And Source is like asking you to change, because with this 5 of Wands right next to this Pope, it's like saying basically like, nope, screw you, Source, like I'm not going to change. And I'm not saying you're saying it like that, but that's really the energy that's coming with the 5 of Wands right now. It's like, no, I know what's best for me. You don't know what's best for me. Obviously you don't know what's best for me. Otherwise I would have somebody in my life. Like there's just an interesting situation here. And the only reason Source wants you to take your focus and your energy off of finding someone in your life is because they want you to realize the actual leadership that you bring to people. It has nothing to do with being in love. This has everything to do with being in love with self and being able to connect with Source, not only through your mind, but through your body and your soul, right? It's like once you connect your mind and your body and your soul together, then you become the ultimate channel, the ultimate voice, the ultimate playground for Source to put out messages to the world. And that's ultimately what we need with our lives. We need you, pile 2, because we need people to bring in Source love. And that's exactly what you're capable of. And you're capable of doing it in such a way that people will reach out to you and ask you for hope, for help, for faith. Like, what do I do, pile 2? What do I do? How do I bring this into my life? And one day I think you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, why do people ask me all these strange questions that I really don't understand the answer to, but somehow it makes sense when they ask, right? It's because you're a channel. You could channel spirits, you could channel messages, you can channel spirit, right? Like Source. It's this energy of being able to connect with a wisdom that's not of you, but it's in you. Do you see? It's like in your DNA and it's being expressed through your voice. That's why it's so important for you to connect with your third eye chakra, because it's like connecting with your third eye allows you to really access this. I don't know if you guys can see all of my, so I have blue agate here. I'm not sure what this is. I think this is black onyx, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm at my grandma's right now, and so I got all these beautiful geodes that my grandpa let me put back here for my readings. But I have a humongous amethyst piece right there. Got amethyst out, right? And then I got a selenite. So the reason I'm showing you this is because I feel like you guys need to work with certain gemstones. I keep getting amethyst here. And then I also feel like you need to work with the truth. I've got this blue agate here as well. So again, there's something about truth for you guys. There's something about learning the truth within. and seeing yourselves as the ability to channel messages from source, which is sometimes a hard place to come from. You know, it's something for myself that I definitely shied away from for a long time, even though I knew I was capable of it. It was something that I ignored and walked away from and resisted for so long, until source is like, you cannot resist this anymore. So there'll come a point where it's either do or die. Like, you know, it's not die physically, guys. It's like, like you either do it and things start to turn out better for you, or you don't, and you keep finding things that just keep getting upset, keep falling apart. You know, it's like you feel closed off to the world right now. It's like you feel like nothing's working out for you. You feel like it's like not listening to your higher self, not listening to your own source energy, not listening to your guidance. This is like not letting the light shine on your journey. It's like rather walking in the darkness and hoping that feeling around is somehow going to bring you somewhere. But you're going to persevere. Okay, thank you, source. Yeah, we have the King of Coins coming out in the reverse, clarifying the Pope. So there's something that this has to do with you stepping up into boss energy, masculine. So you guys could be feminines that I'm dealing with, talking to right now. But look, we have the Emperor on the bottom. Yeah, this is about you stepping up into boss energy. And right now, your resistance and feeling like you have to go after people who aren't serving you, right? Trying to find a connection, trying to find marriage, trying to find whatever it is, love, right? And some of you guys could have a relationship, but you could be wanting it to be better. And it's like you're trying to put all your energy into fixing yourself for this other person. Okay, like I wanted to say off the bat that you guys are trying to fix the other person. And I feel like there's going to be resistance when I say that. So some of you guys are trying to fix this other person. A lot of you guys really believe that if you fix yourself, that this person will see you for who you are. And source is just saying, like, at this time, it is more important for you to focus on you than it is to focus on trying to be better for this person, because you have your divine masculine energy is trying to find a way to be expressed. Like your divine masculine energy is trying to be fulfilled, right? And it's like got something for you that's going to come out in the future. It's like taking that action, taking inspired action every moment of every day. And that's what's bringing you protection. That's what's bringing you stability. That's what's bringing you closer to God or closer to source. You know, the Emperor holds in his hand this staff, which is a direct connection to the divine, being able to channel source messages, being able to reach the audience, to reach everybody out there, while inspiring them to find their own inner being, to find their own inner light. And that's like what you're meant to do. But right now it's like being obsessed with finding love is keeping you from your boss energy. You know, the King of Pentacles or the King of Coins, and he's in the reverse, at least in my deck. It's like talking about not being able or willing to take a risk because you're so afraid of what the future might hold. And I feel like there's anger here too. Like when I pick up this King of Coins, it's like I get a sense of anger coming through here. It's like you're angry at the fact that things aren't different with where you're at. Whether that's with this connection that you're dealing with or whether that's with having a connection. It's like, you know, like, oh, I'm getting too old for this. That's what I keep hearing. Like, I'm getting too old for this bullshit. And it's like the only reason you feel that way is because you're trying to fix yourself to call in your soulmate. And at the end of the day, you have to understand, A, you're not broken. Okay, like let me just make that clear, pile two. You're not broken. You're trying to fix something that you think is truly broken. And you're not broken, but healing is completely different than trying to fix something. Healing is allowing yourself to overcome certain situations and circumstances that have altered your perception on life, that have kept you from a place of unconditional love. And that's what Source is asking you to really focus on right now. It's like focus more on coming back into a space of unconditional love for self. It doesn't matter the mistakes that you've made. It doesn't matter the mistakes that somebody else has made with you. What matters is are you able to come into a place of radical forgiveness? And in that radical forgiveness, open yourself up to the divine light that's been trying to shine through. You know, solar plexus energy here, it's like taking action towards your life purpose. And you're not doing that because you're more focused on taking action towards some sort of a commitment that's not really serving you at this time. So we have the, sorry guys, the door just opened. Okay. So we have the Page of Swords here in the reverse, clarifying the Five of Wands, not wanting to change. Interesting. So yeah, some of you guys could be in a committed relationship that's ending. It's ending. It's because you know it's not working, and I think that that may be freaking you out in some way, shape, or form. It's like, well, if it's not working, like, what was the point? And it's like Source is telling you, like, there was growth here. Can you embrace the fact that there was growth here and be okay with that? You know, and the other thing too is that it's like when the Page of Swords comes out, it's showing me, it's like clarifying this Five of Wands. It's like reluctance to change, to face what you need to face. The inability to cope with your emotions, the inability to see the future in a positive light, which you're looking at the Sun in the reverse. It's like you're unable to see things for what they could be, what they should be. It's like you see things as they are now, and you're like, that's how my life is going to be for the rest of my life. And we have the Ace of Cups coming out in the reverse. Yeah, so you're definitely in a situation right now where you are one-sided love. I did just, my apologies guys, hold on just a second. Sorry about that guys. Just had a whole bunch of stuff happen. So yeah, so there's definitely this energy of one-sided love coming in, but what I just got a message on too is that some of you guys are really focused on hitting some sort of material, financial goal or situation rather than focusing on your healing, and it's actually keeping you in this reversal energy. So I feel like in the next month, you're going to be really looking at this energy and seeing if it's serving you, because there's definitely this energy that's not serving you right now. Yeah, look, we've got the Six of Wands on the bottom coming out in the reverse. It's the reverse in this deck. And that's talking about greed. You know, like it's like things not working out because of too much greed in your life, like too much focus on things. And so we have the Four of Wands here saying it's time to shore up old things that aren't serving you. And then we have the Eight of Wands in the reverse so that you can let go of anxiety and let go of what society thinks that you need to be and come into a place where Source is going to open up a path for you. A path where you may have to start over, right? You may have to start over, but that's a part of it. It's letting go of those old beliefs that are holding you back. And look, again, not listening to your intuition, needing to face reality because you've been impulsive in your life. And that's put a lot of injustice in your life. And now judgment has come. And judgment's really coming on based on the fact of who you've invited into your life. A lot of people who don't have their best interest, your best interest in mind. Right? And then it's self-sabotage. Look, boom, with the Ace of Swords, they're saying, yep, you got it. Self-sabotage. It's not other people who've sabotaged you. It's you sabotaging yourself. And sometimes that's the hardest place to come from. And the reason that there's this self-sabotage energy is because you're so focused on finding love or finding material gain to get love in your life that you're actually missing the point. And the point is to find love of self with Source. That brings in this beautiful clarity. It opens up all the channels for you. And it opens up the fact that I really feel like you guys are intuitive. I feel like naturally you're intuitive and you realize that. But I think when it comes to yourself and your life and what you need to be doing, it's hard for you to listen to your own inner intuition. Yeah, we have the Wheel of Fortune coming out, clarifying the Seven of Wands or Seven of Swords in the upright. Now, the Seven of Swords is perseverance, like ultimate perseverance. No matter what's going on, you're going to overcome the situation. But you're in this mindset of feeling like everything is bad luck. Constant bad luck. You have constant bad luck in my life. Well, what's changing your bad luck is something that happened to you that broke your heart. This could be a relationship. It could be a marriage. It could be a relationship that you're in currently. But really, I feel like this is a broken heart from a broken family. Okay, I feel like as a child, you ended up getting a broken heart because maybe you're trying to express yourself and nobody wanted to hear it. Like everybody's like, oh, that's stupid. Like, I don't know why you're expressing yourself that way. Excuse me, guys. I need a drink of water. My water bottle sounds like a dolphin. And when you guys were trying to express yourself, it's like they were like basically telling you like, no, like you can't express yourself that way. It's not going to work for you. And so it puts you in the space of realizing that it's okay for you to be loving, but you never learned how to express yourself. Like, again, this is just an example, but this is what's coming through. And because you never learned how to express yourself, you've had a lot of bad luck when it's come to relationships, family situationships, friendships, co-workers. Like, it's like hard for you to build stable foundations that might have to do with anything emotional. And yes, all those things are emotionally, involved. Again, we have this, look at this. We have the 6 of coins coming out on the bottom of the deck, talking again, it's in the reverse, talking about greed. Proliferated spending. This is like spending beyond your means. And look, and then under that we have the 8 of Cups in the upright. But you want to manifest a loving family. That's your that's your ultimate goal here, is to have a happy family. But you're stuck in this energy of trying to have enough money to provide for that, thinking like, so this is again an example, but saying like, I need $10,000 in my savings account in order for me to build a family. Well, you hit the $10,000 mile marker, and then it's like suddenly you're like, oh, that's not enough, because you start adding up all these other things. You're like, no, I need to have, $30,000 in my account. So you hit $30,000, and then you're like, that's not enough. So it's like you're basically putting this on the back burner, right? What your ultimate desire is this. This is what you want. You want completion with a family that you can build with, that's loving, caring, kind, compassionate. That's all you want. But look at you holding on to your coin and holding on to your wand here, saying, the only thing I can take action towards right now is my material gain, because I don't want to think this through clearly, because my heart's been broken in the past, right? So can you come up out of this energy and find yourself in a bit more balanced place? That's what's going to be brought to light for you guys in the next month. Is it going to be easy? No. But again, coming back to number 11, just doing what you know you need to do. Well, what do you need to do? Shadow work. Let's be honest. Shadow work, guys. It's not easy. Shadow work is probably one of the hardest things that we ever have to deal with, because it means that we have to look at those parts of ourselves that we don't appreciate, we don't like, we hate, we despise. Right? And shadow work it's ugly. It's ugly work, because it means that we have to accept the things of ourselves that we spent a whole lifetime trying to hide from. Okay, this is the one that wants to come out. Look. What did I say when I picked up this King of Coins? I can't. I just made these. These are my emotional clarifying cards, guys, and I just made these this weekend. I'm super excited about them. You guys are getting the debut of them on this reading. But we have anger, angry, or annoyed. And what did I say when I picked up this King of Coins? I said, you guys are very angry. Like, there's a sense of anger coming through here. And I feel like that's in regards to whoever it is that you've given your heart to in the past. I feel like, there's this energy of you guys giving away so much and not receiving anything in return. And why is that? Because that's a trigger trying to help you heal something that happened when you were a child. And when you're not healing that, it's just, again, it's repeated bad luck. It's not really bad luck. It's just, well, okay, those want to come out. It's just basically Source saying, like, this is a wound that needs to be healed. Otherwise, I'm going to keep sending you mirrors to trigger this, so that you can finally come into a place of acknowledging that that's something that you had, right? That's something that you had in your life, and that's not who it has to be, or that's not what it has to be moving forward. I love that this one came out. We say, the past is the past, the future is the future. You only have this now moment. Exactly. Like, you can't change what happened in the past. You can stay angry about it, or you can feel this anger or your annoyance, right? They go hand in hand. You can feel these emotions in their fullness. Like, if you need to go out in a field somewhere and scream your head off until you have no voice left, or if you need to write a freaking hate letter, whatever it is, feel that anger, get it out, get out what you need to say. Even if you can't say it to that person, get it out so you can feel it. And now that gives you space to be in this present moment, working on yourself. That is shadow work, guys. holding together on a prayer and a piece of bubble gum. I'm so glad this one came out, because I feel like that's what right now it's like the only reason you even seem like you've got things together is by a prayer and a bubble gum, right? And why is that? Because it's like you're just in this stage of hope. Like, I hope things work out. I hope things will be better. But when you're hoping, it's like you're still holding on to the doubt. It's like, well, I hope it works out, but I'm expecting it not to. Do you see? Rather than saying, you know what, let me sit down and pray and really ask for what I want. You know, the reason that I channeled this is because when this one came up, it showed me a scene from one of the shows that I like watching. And they build this spaceship out of like whatever they had. They're in space, they're stuck in space, and they have to get back to their city on Earth, I guess is whatever. Anyways, guys, so they build this spaceship, and when they left, they're like, how are we holding together? And he's like, on a prayer and a piece of bubble gum. And the thing is it's like that. It's like having total faith. Like, that's the whole reason that this message got channeled. It's like having total faith that things are going to work out in your favor, that if you want to manifest a happy family, like, that's your completion, right? That's your world. That's all you've thought about, right? Even the end of the reading coming out, reiterating that you're thinking about having your special someone. Well, at first you have to have faith in the divine and not in material situation. But right now you have given away everything to this situation of material gain, and that is keeping you in a place of stagnancy. Look, I can't make this up, guys. I didn't know this was. You have given your power away. Exactly. You've given your power away to material gain. Hoping that if you have $1 million, that somehow is going to bring you everything that you wanted. And that's not. Look, we have rest equals work and work equals rest. You have to find balance. Okay, so the reason I channeled this message is because there's this story that I have in one of my oracle books, which I do not debut this oracle on YouTube. I'm sorry, guys. If you guys do check out my extended, they'll be on my extended channel. Okay, like that is just something that I did because this deck is very special to me. But in the deck, it talks about how, I think it's Van Gogh, he's painting, right? But he's not painting. He's sitting on a chair with a hat on his eyes, and he's laying down, and his neighbor, who's nosy, comes over and he's like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm resting today. Or no, I'm working. I'm working today. Like, I have to work. And so he goes back to resting and chilling on the chair. The next day comes and he's out there painting, ferociously painting everything that he felt the day before while he was resting. And his neighbor's like, oh, are you working today? And he goes, no, I'm resting. Do you see? It's like finding that balance between the two. Like, this kind of makes me think of a fractional divisional problem, you know? Where do you find your balance at? You guys have given away too much. Ooh. Again, source coming out. Look, y'all, I can't make this up. We have ceremony invocation. This is source saying it's time for you to spend time in prayer. Again, holding together in a prayer and a piece of bubblegum. It's like, it's time for you to sit in prayer and really talk to your spirits and your ancestors and find a place of creation and letting them guide you, right? Like, finding that courage to let them guide you on your journey. It's like, sometimes it's hard to surrender to things we can't see with our eyes, but that's what faith is. You know, faith is surrendering to a process that is much greater than we could ever even comprehend. And I think that's the hardest part of our journey is really giving away what we assume to be power, right? When really surrender is what faith is, right? Beautiful. We have stone people vigilance coming out. This is saying stay vigilant to your course, your higher path of purpose, your spiritual journey. Why? Because you're going to break through and free from these things that are holding you back. You know, the stone people have been here since the beginning of time. They've weathered the storm. It's like every time a storm comes in, I feel like you kind of fall apart in a way, shape, or form. It's nothing bad. It's like, shoot, before I realized the spiritual journey, when anything came, I feel like my whole life was falling apart. Right? And so they're just saying, just stay vigilant to your spiritual journey. Something has sparked that for you. And I feel like it's coming through for you. But right now you're so focused on trying to hit this goal to have a family. You're not focusing on yourself. And it's really, truly yourself that's repelling what you want, because you're staying in a place of lack thinking that, oh, I don't have that, so I have to work harder for it. And that's keeping yourself in like a perpetual motion of lack. And Source is saying, rather, can you act as though you already have it and then just focus on what you need to do in this now moment? I can't make this up, guys. I can't. I love this. That's why if you guys ever watch my extended, you see how many synchronicities come out on them. Vision Quest, desert coming out again. Source saying this card talks about going out in the desert, somewhere in nature, with a journal and just your water bottle and spending all day with Source, asking what questions you have and then writing down what inspirations you receive. So again, Source coming in, saying it is time for you to stay present in this moment, take back your power, and to really spend time with Source. Like, giving away your power is something that most people do without realizing it. Right? Like, what did I say in the beginning? Oh, I need this relationship. I need to have a person in my life. When you need, you're in a place of lack rather than saying I have, right? You're not like, I have love in my life. It doesn't matter if you have a person in your life. I have love in my life because I'm a being of light and love, right? Beautiful. Mary Shelley coming out. She wrote Frankenstein. She says, the beginning is always today. Yeah, so I feel like you've been procrastinating on your journey because you're so concerned about love. It's like the only healing that you focused on doing was just so that you could get love. Or again, like I said, when I had to pause the video, I got that energy of somebody that's just working on only money and feeling like money is somehow going to buy them happiness in the future, when in reality, it puts you in this energy of, like, there's no equal give and take. Money is just energy. It's not something that brings us anything. It's just energy. We cultivate happiness from within. Elegance is inferior to virtue. Coming back and being virtuous to your journey, right? It's like being elegant and free enough to surrender to this process and letting that come through, right? It's like virtue is that energy of just being virtuous. Like how do I, just, you guys know, like when you have virtue, right? It's like you stay committed, you stay true, you show up for yourself. Can you come back into that energy and show up for yourself? Not because you're looking for a commitment, not because you want family in your life right in this minute. Can you come up and show up for yourself so that you can come into a place of strength within yourself? It says a slavish bondage to parents cramps every faculty of the mind. And earlier we did get the 3 of Cups in the reverse. I did not talk about it. I wish I had now, but that's okay. I didn't really feel like I needed to at the time. But this again, that energy of coming through is that you were neglected as a child. You had to take care of your parents emotionally. Or again, didn't I say on your guys? Yeah, I think I said on your pile, like it was like, with this Ace of Cups, you tried to express your emotions and then you were shot down. And so from an early age, you learned, oh, like it's not okay for me to express my emotions. So rather than expressing your emotions, what you would do is work hard for things so that you had something to give to somebody. And now it's like you're realizing that's not really the best way to go about things because you're kind of missing things, right? So this is the ghetto deck. I'm just telling you guys, this is the ghetto deck because there's no rhyme or reason to the messages that came out in it. I'm just saying, like, there's no, oh, this is love, this is a sex thing. No, like, there's no rhyme or reason. So this is the ghetto deck, and then we have the ghetto bag, right? So that's what it just became. So let's get some messages from the ghetto bag. What you got to tell us, Source? Okay, here one more. Thank you. Okay, I heard this one first. You need spiritual fulfillment. Didn't I say that with this Ace of Cups? Guys, I can't. I can't with Source. Like, it's just, Source is just such a wonderful, wonderful experience. And you guys, again, we've got ceremony. I feel like this needs to come out here too. I'm going to put this up here because it's like, what more do you need? Prayer, spiritual fulfillment, self-love. Like, come on, guys. Like, you are meant to offer the world a huge, huge, huge transformational change, but only if you choose to find your spiritual fulfillment within, right? It's like you guys can change the world in a way you never thought possible, and it has nothing to do with your ability to make money. This has everything with your ability to inspire others, right? Okay. Try dating instead of expecting. Oh my god, I love freaking source, guys. I gotta take a minute here. I gotta take a minute, because isn't that the thing? Like, you're expecting someone to be there for you. You're expecting, a love in your life. Like, it's almost like expecting it to be a certain person, and you're not actually experiencing people right now. Like, you're in this expectation of, as soon as you meet someone and they ask you out on a date, you're kind of pulling a Pisces. Like, I'm just going to be real, because Pisces, guys, I've dealt with this all my life. Oh, I had a crush on someone, and it was easy for me to imagine my entire life with that person, right? And then I'd never see that person again. Like, that's kind of the energy that I'm getting here. It's just like, so Source saying, try dating instead of expecting. Go have fun. Like, don't think that you need somebody in your life. Rather, can you experience what it is to see if somebody actually is good for you or not? You're not alone. I feel like you think that a lot. I do feel like you guys fight this feeling of depression when it comes to feeling like you're alone. Is that gonna like focus there for me? Come on. There we go. It's trying to. But yeah, you're not alone. They're just saying, like, you're not alone on the journey. Like, you guys you're protected. You have something beautiful that's always surrounding you. That's source love. Like, stop beating yourself up for where you're at and just take action now. Yeah, you're upon a breakthrough. Yeah. I feel like this is what's going to happen to you next month, is you're going to realize all of this stuff. Like, not just from me telling you on this reading. No, it's going to be a lot deeper than that. Like, you're going to actually come into a space of understanding a lot of why you've done what you've done, and maybe a lot of why you expect to be in this committed relationship, even if it might not be working out for you, or if you're expecting a relationship when you don't really have anybody that's compatible with you in your life. Too scared to say I love you. Oh, Slurs, I'm about done. I'm ready to turn off this camera and walk away from y'all, because look, didn't I say you had a hard time expressing your emotions? So I feel like you're working hard for a certain someone. That's like, you want to marry them, or you want to be there for them. Again, this could be a divine masculine that I'm talking to. It did say divine feminine at the beginning, but right there with this, I feel like this could be a divine masculine that has a hard time expressing emotions. And it's like, you want to get to the end result and have this happy family, this completion, right? And you're thinking that, instead of saying I love you, what if I could just buy this person the moon? Like in sources saying, like, you gotta, no, it's not gonna work. Like, why can you try dating them, not expecting anything to go any one way? Can you date them and have a good time? Can you do that? But you're too scared to say I love you, and you really care about somebody. And I feel like this is just in general, too. This is just saying how hard it is for you to express your internal emotions. Like, if you have kids, it might be really hard for you to even say I love you to your kids. Like, it's kind of, and I hear it now. They should just know. I heard it. Like, as soon as I said that, they should just know. Like, no, like, this is a very powerful thing. To say I love you to somebody it's opening up a channel for you to be vulnerable. And vulnerable is not weakness, okay? It's not. Look, oh my gosh, pile 2, like, I can't with you all. Let go of expectations of who it could be. Right, so you're looking at an end result with somebody here. Like, you're expecting it to be this person. You're looking at an end result, but you're trying to skip steps 1, 2, and 3 and end on 10, and it's not, like, things just kind of, I think it's really weighing on you. I want to see what's behind this. Look, here you go. Not alone. Yeah, you guys definitely have something with feeling like you're alone in this journey, or you're the only one that's working towards something. It says, we've never let you journey alone. We fight with, stand with, and guide you the whole way. And I didn't have room to write with in here, so that was why it's not there. Yeah, you guys definitely fear being alone on the journey. And then we have, look, thank you for choosing to overcome your struggles, source. Like that's the thing. Like, you guys are overcoming this. I feel like you guys are going to wake up one day and you're going to be like, why don't I just try dating this person and see if it works out? And I think that this person actually brings some sense of spiritual fulfillment into your life. I think they help open your perspective. And I think the thing is, and if they're not here yet, this is going to happen, where it's going to be a person that comes in the next month, whenever you guys are watching this, that's going to really kind of make you question where it is that you're at in your life, and you're going to want to work towards having money, and they're going to teach you that it's not about having money, it's about having spiritual fulfillment. And that's a difficult place for you guys. Didn't I say that you guys needed to get amethyst in your life too? And look, we have crystals focus, and this is all amethyst right here. So I was showing you all my crystals here. Yeah, so amethyst is something you guys could work with. I did get a strong sense you could be a Leo or you could be a Cancer. Reason being is because they are ruled by the third eye. I do use the amethyst to connect with my third eye. I know it is more of a crown chakra gemstone, or whatever you want to call it, geode, I guess. But at the same time, I did just hear that from source. So you guys could be able to do a lot of inner work with an amethyst, and it might actually help you guys recenter your energy and let go of these beliefs that you have. So again, for those of you that are the masculine energy, just coming back into a place of learning how to give and receive. And I know that's not customary for you guys, like, at all. Like, I know it's easier for you guys to work towards what you want, and that's really what you guys focus on, and I get that. But there's this energy of needing to let go, because you have a lot of anger coming into your life right now, and whether that's with whoever it is that you don't want to be in your life, or whether it's with this new person because they might be seemingly further along than you, whatever it is, you have to overcome your own trials and tribulations yourself. There's no sense in holding anger towards another person, because that person, you don't necessarily know what struggles they went through, especially if you guys haven't really gotten to know each other, you know? These are really hard to shuffle, just by the way, guys, like, just saying. Yeah, so just let yourselves, you know, be patient with yourself. I think that's the biggest thing here. It's like, you guys are very hard on yourself, pile 2. Like, that's why I think you're angry all the time, because it's like easier to point the finger at other people. But I think what you're missing is that you're actually really angry at yourself, and you focus more on work because it's easier to zone out when it comes to work than it is to focus on, you know, what's necessary for your time here on Earth. Like, I do get the sense that you guys could be star seeds. Not all of you guys, but there's a sense that some of you guys are star seeds, and you're aware of that. But it's almost like you're kind of like stuck in the material realm. Like, I'm just going to focus on the material aspect of things because that's easier for you. And that's masculine energy. So again, you guys could be a femme that is embodying heavy masculine energy. But look, when you let go, look, I split the deck and we've got the Knight of Cups in the upright. Yeah, there's going to be some kind of romantic offer that does come in, or that you'll be able to give. But it's only on letting yourself work on the journey. Like, if you don't focus on your healing, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Like, you're not allowing yourself to become what you're meant to become. And like I said, you guys have something very unique and beautiful that the world needs, right? And if you keep running from that, like, you're not ever going to be able to offer that to the world, and you're always going to be chasing a pipe dream, you know? Money, enough money to buy a person. Well, if a person that you like is on the spiritual journey, I'm just going to say you're never going to buy them. Like, because the money doesn't matter to people who are on the spiritual journey, because there's something more fulfilling than money could ever be. What is it? That's source energy, source love, right? So that's just something to keep in mind, pile 2. It's like, overall, a beautiful reading, like, beautiful energy coming in. These readings were a lot longer than I was expecting them to be, and I'm so happy I only did 3 piles, because sometimes I'll do 4. So, yeah, so squirrels, we're in pile number 1. There's 2 squirrels running around outside. I feel like you guys need to have more lightheartedness towards yourself, and also being able to embrace a little bit of fun. And I feel like whoever is coming in will bring you fun, but I feel at the same time, not only are they going to bring you fun, they're going to trigger you a lot and make you question some of the beliefs that you have, and not being afraid to work through those. Okay? I love you, pile 2. You guys have a lot of growth coming up in the next month, so get ready for a roller coaster ride, and just enjoy every minute. The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, whatever it is, the ups and downs. Just enjoy and relish in each moment as it comes, and you're going to experience a whole new aspect to your own life. Please like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel down below, set that notification bell so you always know when the next video does go live. And until next time, pile 2, go forth boldly, my fellow creators, and courageously find creative ways to rise above in life, laughter, and love. Until we meet each other again. Mwah. Peace out. I love y'all. Bye. Okay. Pile 3. I was selected to lead, not to read. Number 3. You picked number 12. Okay. So 12 is the number 3, which comes to, and it's funny because 3 is up here. Your angels are with you. They say it's the number of creation too, being able to create, when the seed breaks ground. The longest aspect is from 1 and 2, when the roots are growing. You planted the seed, the roots are growing, then it breaks the ground, right? Then you finally get to see a little bit of what it is that you've gone through. And I think you're in that energy right now of waiting to see the fruit of your efforts. And Source is saying that just keep your perspective in a high vibrational energy, because it's when you're in this high vibrational energy that things start happening more rapid and faster. With this purple, I feel like you guys definitely need to connect with crown chakra energy. This is Source energy, letting Source channel through you guys. Not just for others. Like, I feel like you guys you're a very spiritual pile already. Like, I definitely feel like that. And I feel like you guys could be channelers. You guys could be readers. You guys could be, Reiki. You could do yoga. You could do anything that's spiritual. You guys definitely bring that knowledge around. But I feel like you also fight sometimes with this feeling of self-worth. And Source is saying to really connect with creation of Source, because it's in connecting with that creation of Source that you're going to understand it has nothing to do with how worthy you are, because you are a being of light and love. It has everything to do with your ability to keep yourself in a higher vibration, knowing that you are a child of Source. And that's not always easy on this journey. Sometimes we fight with that because it's like, how can something, and I said this in one of the other piles, you guys might resonate with that, but I feel like you guys are going to have a much different pile than anybody else. I don't even know what your cards are yet. I'm just saying, like, I really feel like you're going to have a much different reading than everybody else. So the energy is entirely different. I feel like you guys definitely struggle with whether or not you're doing the right thing. Did I do the right thing? You make a decision and then you spend all the time questioning that decision rather than just owning the fact that you made the decision. And because you made the decision, that means it's the right one. Right? Like nobody can say what's the right or wrong decision for us. It's just knowing that whatever you choose to do, it was right for you in that moment. And can you come into a space of acceptance of that? And what will help with that is like meditating and connecting with Source in silence, in nature, going outside, being with animals, being with, things that find you in unconditional love, whether that's a dog, a cat, a rooster. I have no idea why rooster came in, but sure, let's go with it. It could be as simple as just going out and talking to a plant, right? But finding that energy of being with Source in its finest. Squirrels have been relevant the whole reading, and I feel like for everybody, it's just letting go of the seriousness and allowing things to be enjoyed. The more serious you are, the harder you find it to really truly enjoy the ups and downs of life. And this is something that even I struggle with too, guys. So it's not like you ever get to a point where you just truly enjoy every aspect of life, because when you experience the highs, it's easy to enjoy what's going on. But when you experience the lows, can you embrace the lows for what they are? Because that's where we find contentment, is being able to embrace what's happening in this now moment, whether it's us being super ecstatic about what's coming next, or whether it's a somber moment, or whether it's a moment of sadness and disappointment. Those are all beautiful aspects of being human, even if they don't all feel beautiful, right? So let's see what's coming up for you in the next month. Starting out with the number 3. The Empress in reverse, guys. Woo! Okay, the 10 of Swords in the reverse. All right. The 2 of Cups in the reverse, guys. Wow. And Death. Or the Nameless in reverse. I'm stuck, guys. Like, this crazy. Like, this is just interesting energy coming out already. It's like you've been really impulsive about things. been really impulsive about what it is that you're doing. Again, coming back to that, what I was saying, when you make a decision, it's like you make a decision, you go and you say that decision, you voice it out, you get into it, but then as soon as you let it go from your lips, it's like you want to take it back right away. And that's what's putting you in this impulsive energy, but it's also exhausting you to the point of like no return. Like there's this energy of not being able to overcome negativity. It's like always fighting. You feel like you're fighting to belong, fighting for your life, fighting for the right to be seen. And yes, it could do with love. But I feel like this is a wound. I feel like this Two of Cups is actually a wound. And that's what you need to let go of. Like this is what's really holding you back, is this Two of Cups here. Because you gave somebody everything. Most of the times, I'm just going to say, most of the times the people who are on the spiritual journey have dealt with like massive trauma and abuse in their lives. Whether that was an abusive ex, a narcissistic ex, whether that was abusive parents, narcissistic parents, sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse. They're all a thing, right? But really the people who decide to go on the spiritual journey are people who have carried a huge weight on their shoulder. And it's like you were impulsive and you made a decision to move forward with something and it didn't work out. And it was like that. But here's the funny thing, like about that, it caused a transformation. And you transformed and you stated your decision, but then it was like you came back and I need to take back my decision because I'm scared of the outcome. And it caused a lot of grief. Whatever it was that you decided to do, it caused a lot of grief. Sadness, despair, depression. And I think why Source chose to put 12 on your pile is because they're saying like, change your perspective and see the lesson that you learned from this situation, whatever it was. Rather than being sad about it happening, can you be happy with what you gained from it? Because I feel like there was a lot that you did gain from it, even though you're in all this reversal energy. Right, so what's coming up in the next month for you? I mean, we'll definitely get some clarifiers out here, but I feel like you're going to realize that even though you've gone through this depression and this upset, and it's like upheaval in your life, right? I heard uprooted. Something was uprooted that had to do with your heart. Did you guys break up recently? You didn't want to? You did, but you didn't? It was like when you made the... So I guess that's the example that's coming through that Source is showing me. Is that some of you guys broke up and you didn't want to. But it was like you knew you had to. It was like you were being guided to. And it was like, so you broke up, but it's like, then you didn't want to break up. But you couldn't see, like, it was like seeing that it was making you exhausted and distraught. It was like being impulsive because you were... Okay, let me get it out, Source. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. You guys were dealing with a lot of triggers with this individual. It doesn't mean that they're right or wrong for you. But what happened is you made a decision based on how you were internally feeling and the mindset that you had. Okay, and so we have a sense here of learning to change your perspective. Not being so controlling about the way you see life. Rather letting life flow and seeing what did you take from what happened. What did you take from what happened? That's not always easy, right? It's not always easy. It's sometimes that is the most difficult thing, is to see things from a higher perspective, because our emotional ego, which again with this Two of Cups here is being highlighted, the emotional ego was bruised. It was bruised because you tried following your intuition. And I feel like you guys don't, like, you know, you're spiritual. Like I said, you guys are a very spiritual pile. Out of all the piles here, like the energy that I get from you guys is a very spiritual being. Like you definitely believe in these things. You definitely try your best to embody that. You definitely try what you can so that you guys can come up into a higher belief system and everything like that. And we all hit roadblocks. Like, it doesn't matter how much you show up. Like, there's always going to be a roadblock, because the roadblock is the trigger. The roadblock is the trigger that causes us to have a broken heart so that we can continue to grow. But right now, your broken heart has left you in a space of grief. Like, Like, this is catatonic grief. When the death card comes out in reverse, it's like not even not wanting to transform. There was a transformation here. Okay, there was. Like, you have transformational energy across the board here, but what happened was, it's like you transformed and then it broke your heart. It broke your heart. It broke your heart. The transformation is what broke your heart. And that was a trigger. That was a trigger for you. It was a trigger for you to understand that sometimes you have to have a broken heart in order for you to get what it is that you want. Letting go. Letting go. And you had to cut out, like, look, if he swings his scythe here, right, he's going to cut through this Two of Cups here. And this is somebody, like, so somebody in your life really, like, had your trust. They had your everything. Like I said, I feel like you gave everything to somebody and they had that. And then you found out that this person betrayed you. They cheated on you. They lied to you. Some sort of betrayal, upset, right? And that caused you to be impulsive, to try and protect yourself from situations that were like this. But then something came and it reminded you of this. It was like you felt like you had to cut it out. You felt like you had to let it go because it was just causing too much upset in your life. And that was frustrating you. But at the same time, the minute that you let go of it, it was like, why? Why did I let go of it? When that, you know, like, I feel like that's all I wanted in life. Look at that. What did I say? Somebody was cheating on you. We have the Lovers coming out in the reverse, talking about promiscuity, you know, lack of spiritual growth. Decisions, right? Not being able to make a decision. Again, reiterating that you guys have a hard time embracing decision making. It's like you don't trust yourself, right? You don't trust yourself. But look, we have the Moon coming out. Moon is connected to your intuition. And this Piscean energy here, it's like that's part of the ups and downs. It's like, I feel like you had to transform into this energy so that you guys could embody the divine feminine. Because with the Moon and the Lovers coming out together here, it's telling me you guys had a mother wound. Plus we have Cancerian energy here. And Cancerians are all about being the mother of the zodiac, right? Yeah, somebody who's manipulative. And maybe you didn't know, or you did know. Like I said, like, I feel like you guys are very spiritual. But the problem is look at this right here. Yeah, you guys knew that this person was manipulating you and that they were stepping over your boundaries. And so you knew that you had to cut them out. Like, you knew that. You knew that you couldn't keep holding on to this. But it was like, there's still this energy of it being a mirror of a past situation, so much so that when you did transform that, it just puts you into this state of grief. Wow, thank you, Source. Boom. Spiritual growth. Look at that. What happened? It was you cutting them out that you actually grew, and you realized it was like, you know, maybe I was trying to push something that wasn't there. Maybe I fell in love with them, or maybe, you know, like I gave them so much of my heart because that's what I had done to a past situation. And I wasn't allowing this person to show up for me. Again, we have Cancerian energy here, right? It's interesting. Look, we have Cancer energy. We have Gemini energy. We have Gemini energy. So there's a lot of mirroring going on here. I think this person is just mirroring your internal upsets. And then, oh, sorry guys, hold on just a second. Okay, so yeah, so there's this energy of finally being able to make a decision for yourself, like moving forward, right? Some people say the Chariot is victory. To me, the Chariot is more about taking that journey to a higher level of being. But you have a lot of mirroring here. It's like this person was mirroring back to you your upsets, and you had to truly honor that. It's interesting. I did get an energy here that maybe you guys were sexual addicts, or you guys were broken-hearted addicts. Okay, I know that sounds so weird. I'm not laughing at you guys. It's just the way that it came out. It sounds so weird. If you guys hear a lot of flapping, my dog is playing with the donut over here, and then the other dog I had to lock outside because if I don't, he'll come in here and bark his head off. So maybe you guys resonate with that. I don't know. But yeah, so if you guys hear stuff, it's just her over there. She's playing, and the other dog I have no control over. They were brought to bring you confidence. Look at this. They could be a Sagittarius. Look at this Sagittarian energy coming out. Sagittarius. Yeah. Look, this is all about healing. This was a healing connection for you. This was something that brought healing into your life. This was something that brought clarity for you. This is something that helped you come into a confident place. So what's going to happen in the next month is even though you're going to have a broken heart because of this, eventually, again, some people see this as victory. And I feel like I had to say that with purpose, because I feel like they're showing you that even though you're going through this drama is what came out. I didn't want to say it that way, but okay, we're going to go with it. This drama, right? You're going to start seeing things from a higher perspective, a higher being, a higher state of mind. And look, you have 6 and 7 coming out together. It's like the 6 in reverse, and then you go into the 7. It's like when you finally step out of this energy, you step into an energy of truly being able to transform yourself, right? And that's a beautiful energy to be at. What's a clarifying card for this 2 of Cups, source? Clarifying energy for this 2 of Cups. So I feel like maybe you got involved with a person who is promiscuous. This person could have a relationship. This person, maybe it was just, also I'm getting lying, like not necessarily that they had anybody, but they could have just been lying to you, like maybe offering you something that they knew they couldn't give. Sometimes that happens, people see the good in who you are and they get so excited. They're like, oh my gosh, pile 3, they bring so much love and light into my life, like I can't lose them. And so they start promising you everything. So it's so funny because I heard this song, and you guys, it's called There Is No Arizona. And I can't remember the lady that sings it, but this is what she says. She says, there is no Arizona, no painted desert, no Sedona. If there were a Grand Canyon, she could fill it up with the lies he's told her, but they don't exist. Those dreams he sold her, she'll wake up and find there is no Arizona. Da 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 da. Yeah. Okay, so like I feel like that's the energy here, guys. Like I can't. I have to do what source asks me to. So just whatever, guys. Like I feel like that's the energy that happened here. Is like they're promising you Arizona, the Grand Canyon, Sedona, all these beautiful places. Which, by the way, if anybody's from Sedona, peace, guys. I love that city so much. And you're in this energy of thinking like, but I love this person. I love them. And what you loved was the idea of what they could have been. And source is saying that what's going to end up happening is you realize that there was some sort of imbalance here that was keeping you from spiritually growing. Because when the Lover's in the upright in my deck, it talks about spiritual fulfillment. Learning that you can heal yourself, learning that you can heal your wounds, learning that you have the power to make the choice and the decisions in your life, learning that you have truth as long as you open your heart and listen to your guides. When it's in the reverse, it does talk about promiscuity, third party triangles, love triangles and stuff like that. And I feel like you were put in a love triangle. And even if you knew about it, like here's the thing is like you still fell in love with this person. You still fell in love with them. It was hard not to. Why? Because this person mirrored back to you a wound from your past. Like I said, I feel like this is the wound here is the 2 of Cups in the reverse. Boom. We have the 7 of Cups coming out, showing again blurred boundaries. 7-7 right next to each other here, guys. Look, and we have the Cups together. It's like maybe you thought this person was going to be your ultimate wish fulfillment and give you everything that you wanted, but what you just weren't seeing the truth of it. You weren't seeing that this person is really pushing boundaries with you. You weren't seeing that this person was really not seeing you for who you were. This person came into your life to push boundaries, to help you to heal that imbalance, to help you heal whatever this was carrying. You again, I said some of you guys could be a sex addict, and please do not take that the wrong way. If you guys are attracted to another pile, I actually spoke about this in another pile today. Even though yours is totally different than everybody else, it was just something that came up talking about addictions, right? But with this Lovers here and the Empress, I do feel like this is some kind of a sexual addiction that's coming out that you guys are going to learn about, and you're going to realize. And if it's not a sexual addiction, it could be an addiction to a relationship, a person. This could be an addiction to a status. This could be an addiction to not a physical drug or an alcohol or something like that. This is something else. This is like more keeping you from that spiritual journey, which is drugs and alcohol can, but we can also have in spiritual enlightenment while we're in those things too. So, you know, it's kind of, this is something material that weighs on your consciousness. Okay. I mean, I guess that really at the end of the day, all that stuff weighs on our consciousness, but this is something that you wouldn't think is an addiction. Maybe that's the way I should say it. Yeah. This is something you didn't think was an addiction, but they helped you come into this place. But at the same time, what happened was it caused a mass confusion for you. And Source is saying it's okay. You're on the path to a positive outcome. Like, you made the right decision, right? You have to trust the process, because you're look, yeah, beautiful. You're changing something in your life. It's like more or less building structure around yourself rather than hoping that someone's going to build a structure for you. And you come into a place of clarity. And there might be love coming in. Who knows? Real love. Real love. But I feel like you really love this person, or you love this situation, whatever it was. Again, I do feel like this is a person because we have the Two of Cups out here. But you invested a lot, and I feel like you opened yourself up in a way that maybe you hadn't opened yourself up before, or for a long time. And that's what I feel like is the grief that's coming in here, is because you gave so much of yourself to this person that you said you would never give to another person unless that was the person that you were going to spend life with. And so knowing that you might not spend life with this person, or be in another or be in a long-term situation with this person, I think that's what broke your heart so badly. But also, after you get over the grief of it, you're going to come into this energy of seeing and realizing that, wow, this person really didn't have my best interest in mind, because they were like I said, even if you guys knew about the situation, it's like, still, they should have said no. Like, yes, maybe you should have said no, but again, nobody's free from sin in life. And so it's like they still had an opportunity to say no to you because of the situation that they were in, but they didn't. And it's not that you blame them for that. It's just like realizing that at this point, we both have to take fault for what has happened. And I choose to take my fault and to learn from it and to heal from it. So we have the Five of Wands in the upright. Beautiful. Beautiful. So this is like talking about, yes, you were in grieving. Yes, you were grieving your broken heart. Yes, you were overcoming, you were crying tears, and you were hurt so bad. But you know what? Even though life was imbalanced for you for just a little bit, it's like the equilibrium was struck, right? It was like something came in and struck it. Like if you swing this side, that's going to take out the equilibrium of this card. Why? 'Cause it's going to slice it in a weird way, right? And so it falls apart, and if you take one part away, right? So it's like there was no balance, and it's like the equilibrium came and it struck, and it's like Source is saying that's okay, because you're going to find, you, pile 3, are going to find your balance once again. Beautiful. And somebody's going to come in and help grow with you. It could be this person too. It could be you walking away. Look, again, with the confidence and the balance, yes, and the healing. I needed healing. I needed healing. What is it? I wish I knew the words to say. Well, she talks about, so in that song, she talks about running to this person to find love. And she says, but what I didn't really know is that I needed healing instead. And I don't know the song well enough, but they keep bringing it up. And so I feel like I just need to tell you guys, the song's name is Healing. And I cannot remember who sings it at this moment. It's on my phone. And of course, you guys are on my phone. So yeah, we're just going to go with it. I could take the laptop, but I'd have to take down the camera, which is where you guys are. So yeah, no. But like this situation, look, it's like, even if you don't grow in love with this person, and you could, like I'm saying, I can't say yes or no. I can't. Like, that's not up to me, because it's different for everybody. But at the end of the day, the beautiful situation in this story is this. You healed this broken heart. You healed this wound. You purged your subconscious. You truly dealt with it, right? Look, you have the Two of Cups here and the Temperance. It's like you learned how to come into balanced love with yourself. It helped you find confidence in who you are. And because of that, You have beautiful type growth love coming in. This could be a friendship. It could be a partnership. It could be romantic love. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what it is. It's coming. It's like what's coming in the next month. You broke your own heart to heal your own heart so that you could have what it is that you wanted. Okay, like I know that makes so much sense, right? Like I really hope it does. But that's the energy here that's going on. Now, I do want to get an emotional clarifier for you guys. Like, what's your emotions in the next month that you guys, like the main emotion that you're going to be dealing with? Everybody's been dealing with a lot. We had exhausted, we had anger and annoyance coming out. So what's coming out for pile number 3 source? What is their energy that they're dealing with? Okay, I heard one more. Brooding. Oh my gosh, yeah, so you're gonna, again, that's this grief energy coming through too. It's like brooding, and it's like, brooding is like, oh, broody brood, broody brood, brood. Like, I'm not making fun, guys, because I totally understand this energy, but it's like, when you brood, like, you're in this energy of playing things over and over again. Like, and then we have confusion on the bottom. Yeah, confused. It's like, again, with that confused, dazed and confused here, that's what I heard. It's like you're brooding over, like, why the hell did I even get involved in this connection when it was going to end up like this? And it's like trying to play things out for yourself. Like, well, what if I had done this? What if I had done that? What if I had gone here? What if I had this? What if I had done that? And it's like Source is just saying, like it's okay to brood on it. But at the end of the day, it's like the only reason you're in this energy is so that you can find truth with your spirit. So can you spend time in solitude and really like meditation and find the answer to why it was that you were here? Because at the end of the day, the truth is that this was sent into your life. Again, if somebody, back to that example I was saying, the sex addict, if you guys are sex addicts, this is helping you realize that sex is not how you begin a relationship. It's, you want emotional fulfillment, but you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. And how do you start somewhere? By being confident in your abilities to love, not in your ability to give somebody sex. And I feel like in the past, like, again, this is just an example. Okay, this is just an example. You guys have to, you have to use that as just understanding there's so many of you guys watching that I can't say, oh, it's you and you and you, right? I can't say that. But they're just saying that you have to get out of that energy of thinking that sex is going to give you love, because it's not. That's what leaves you in confusion. My ear just started ringing. You guys need to listen to your intuition, listen to your guidance, your angels. You guys could have clairaudience and not know it yet. Okay, so we have fearing the unknown. Yeah, I feel like that's why you're in this energy of grief and fear and sadness, is because you don't know what's coming next. It's like, I wanted to be this person. I wanted it to be this person. I needed it to be this person. But it's like, that's why you're afraid of making decisions. Like, you guys are super spiritual. Like, this is what baffles me. It's like, you guys do not even know how spiritual you are yet. You guys have barely touched the iceberg. Like it's like you just kind of touch the tip of it. And it's like, you're kind of in that, it's like on the threshold right now. Energy that I'm getting. It's like, you're about to walk through and learn what it is to really listen to your guidance. But it's this fearing the unknown that has kept you stuck. And I feel like that's where this brooding energy is coming in as well. It's because you're brooding on it because you fell in love with this person right away, right? Like, the connection was very strong. It's a very spiritual connection. Like, this is a very spiritual connection, yes. Whatever this was, it was very spiritual, but it was spiritual for purpose of teaching you something about yourself. And that's not something to fear. And that's the energy that you're in right now. So, oh, by the way, this is the ghetto deck. Okay. So we have the ghetto bag and this is the ghetto deck, because there's no rhyme or reason to the messages that come. Really, like, they're just really not. So, time to let go of anger and speak in a calm, clear, and concise manner. Yeah. So you're mad, right? That's this confusion energy coming out here. You're mad about what has happened. It's like, you're mad about the decision you had to make. You knew you had to make. You're mad about the decision that you made when you got together with this 2 of Cups. It's like this energy of just being mad about the whole process. And Source is saying, like, there's no reason to be upset. It's like, rather come, you know, like, if you're mad at this person, tell them that, you know, I'm mad because you did this, or I'm mad because you did that. Don't scream and yell at them. Like, that never helps anybody. That just perpetuates a bad cause. Like, Rather just going up and being like, you know what, I feel like you broke my heart, and I feel like it could have been easy for you to say no, but knowing the situation, you still put me into a bad situation, and then I still ended up falling in love with you. Yeah, I know I said yes, and I know I agreed to it, and I take accountability for that part of myself, but at the same time, I'm mad because you said okay, and you didn't have to. Yeah, so we have Pitbull Misunderstood coming out. So this is just telling, it's like maybe you misunderstood the signs, or maybe they misunderstood the signs when it came to this connection. And there's this energy of like realizing, so the reason that this whole deck started, there's a story to the Pitbull card here. And so because that's the card that started this deck. And the reason is because I just recently adopted a pit bull, and I realized how misunderstood the breed is, when in reality there's a reason that they're called the nanny dogs. Like there's a true reason that they're called the nanny dogs, okay? They're super kind, loving, compassionate, and they only want you guys to love on them. Like, it is baffling to me how adoring and loving my pity is. Like, she's in the room right now. She's passed out by the door. Yeah, she plays, she chews things up like a beast. She's like an aggressive chewer, which is fine, like getting her toys and stuff that she can play with, which, you know, is fine. But seeing that when she played with the other dogs, how I had to overcome my own fear of her growl being different than the other dogs because it's in her breed, and realizing that it's not her being aggressive, that's truly her playing, but how that fear came up, like, again, that societal belief that, oh my gosh, they're a terrible dog, they're fight dogs. Like, and I feel like that's kind of what happened in this situation. It was like you guys felt this deep spiritual connection. It's like, oh, that's my person. Like, I know that's my person. Like, I'm gonna grow with them. And then all of a sudden everything just fell apart, and you're like, wait, but Source is like, hold on, there's a purpose for this. Like, you just misunderstood it. Like, it's okay. It doesn't have to be a romantic connection. It doesn't have to be love. There's something beautiful that came from this. And it's like, can you embrace the beauty of what you've learned? So we have rest and work on the bottom. Work equals rest. Finding the balance. So realizing that you need to be able to find time to rest, and relaxation is really important for you. And yes, that is a form of work, because I feel like you resist relaxation. I know I do. And I know it's something like that's another reason this was Source reminding me. Sometimes these clarifiers come out and I'm always being reminded of stuff too. But I feel like that's what Source is saying. Like, you need to be able to rest, and just understand that your rest is also a form of work, because that's when Source can give you downloads. That's when Source can really speak to you and let you know what's going on. And I feel like that's what's going to happen with this situation. Your work is rest, right? So when you do work, like I do these readings, and I absolutely love these readings. Like, if you guys have watched me for any amount of time, you know, I get super shocked and stoked and baffled at every reading I do, because it's something that I really truly enjoy and love. And that to me is rest, because it's like, oh, you know, like, it's fun. I don't know where the time's gone. Like, I've already been on this video for 2 hours, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know where the time has gone. But it's like, you have to find balance between that. Like, you can't constantly put out work and think that that's going to be okay. And you can't constantly rest and think that that's going to be okay. It's like a give and take here. And can you find balance in that give and take? It's interesting because I did shuffle these before, and then we had DNA karma come out on the bottom. So I feel like you guys were in a karmic connection without realizing it. But again, there are higher level karmic connections, right? So it doesn't mean that they were right or wrong for you. What it means is that they came in and they believed things in a certain way that really, like, affected you in a way that other people hadn't. And that's why I'm saying you guys are super spiritual. I feel like you've been in a place of not really letting anybody in. And I feel like there is, again, that energy that one of the lessons you learned was how to truly open your heart and not be afraid of who you are. I think you feared who you are for so long because you're so different, you know? I feel like you guys fight with your own spiritual abilities because you're thinking that there's something weird about you, or you're constantly surrounded by people who judge you based on your abilities or based on what it is that you go out and do and learn. And this is just, this person came in and they saw you in a way that no one else saw you. And I think that that's what really made you fall for them. And that is that energy of knowing that you just, that's what Source does. Source gives us that little bit of relaxation and the resistance so that we can pull back again like the rubber band and then just shoot off into space. So there's a huge growth with this. Look, this helped you find your strength. This situation is helping you find your strength. Like in the next month, you're going to really, truly learn how strong you are, how capable you are. And I feel like this is such a beautiful energy to be in, because we oftentimes ignore our own strengths and we don't see the truth of who we are. And so, sorry, I don't think I shuffled these before, so I'm going to shuffle them now. But I think that's the thing, is you're going to learn your own strength when it comes to this situation, when it comes to love. When it comes to yourself, more than anything else, you're going to learn your own strength. And it's in learning that you guys are going to realize that I deserve the best of the best of the best. And if somebody can't offer me that, then it's no, like, ain't no thing, right? Like, it ain't no thing against them. It ain't no thing against you. It's just, again, you've had to set standards for yourself, because on the spiritual journey, you maybe didn't have standards in the past. And it's not, and it's not having the, okay, I didn't want both of them, but you're being pushy. Yeah, it's in not having those boundaries in the past that have really put you in a place of getting hurt a lot. And with the Seven of Cups here, we learn about that blurred boundaries, not being able to stand up for yourself, emotionally feeling obligated to let others take advantage of you, even if it doesn't seem like they are. Like, again, when you grow spiritually, there's new levels, new devils. And so I'm not saying this person's a devil. It's just, that's a statement saying that as you grow, we're going to have spiritual beings that come into our life, other people who are going to teach us a lesson about ourselves that we didn't actually know. And lessons don't always have to end in pain and heartache. It's just that this one did. Reflection. Beautiful. Winter solstice. Reflection. We're about to come up into winter. It's Halloween right now, so happy Halloween to those of you watching. But with winter coming, it's like reflecting on what you learned. Not only about this connection, but just in the last year. Like, what has really happened for you in the last year? What has transformed for you in the last year? And can you find a beauty in that, and a solace, and just knowing that it's in all that change that you are really truly growing, and you are going down the spiritual journey. It's sometimes it's hard. Like, we think nothing is happening. I know I've been there plenty of times where it's like, gosh, everything is so slow right now. And it's like, enjoy the slow moments, because eventually those go away. Yeah, connecting with Source. We have Desert Vision Quest coming out. And this is just showing you to go out in nature somewhere with just your water bottle and a journal, and spending time in prayer. And really asking Source the questions you have. Like, ask Source about this connection. What happened? Whatever it is that's keeping you in a state of grief. Like, why did this have to happen like this? And see what inspirations you get. I can't promise you that the answers will come that day, but if you write it down and you set the intention to find the answer, it will come to you guys. Okay, like, Source will bring it to you. There will be a clarification on it, and you just have to trust that. So we have Elizabeth Taylor coming out. She says, don't run so fast that you can't be caught. What was I just saying? Like, exactly with this energy here. Beautiful, beautiful clarifier here. Like, don't think that where you're at isn't good enough. It's like, that's why I feel like winter solstice came out. It's like reflecting on the last year is going to be so powerful for you, pile 3. Like, it's going to allow you to see what it is that you truly have done in your life with what you have. And that's not always easy, right? It's not. It says you can be a big fan of marriage, just be an even bigger fan of diamonds. So yeah, the commitment that this person had to this connection, it wasn't there. It wasn't there. Like, I'm just, with this energy right here, it wasn't there. It wasn't something that was going to happen. It was like, they were, again, going back to that song, there is no Arizona with this person. It was just kind of like, they're all talk and no action. And it's because of the situation that they're in right now. It's like, they're not willing to do the growth, but that doesn't mean that you have to stop your own growth. It says, true friends last longer than marriage, however many times you marry. Again, so this is energy of maybe this person is married, or maybe this person is committed. So definitely commitment coming through with both of these at the end here. I know not all of them are like this, guys. I mean, these are love cards, yeah, but they're not all like that. Let's see what we got. Greta Garbo. She says, are you sure you wouldn't rather be alone? Exactly. Like you were in a state of confusion, panic, disarray, like it was almost like this person had you under a spell in some way, shape, or form, but it wasn't the spell, it was the connection. It was how deep the connection runs. Like I get the energy of going back centuries with this person, and you're aware of that. And I feel like this person knows that too. But right now, where you guys are on your journey is not in a place where you can come into union. And can you be okay with that? Can you be okay with that? I'm not saying that you're not meant to be in union with this person. I don't know. It's different for everybody, right? Even, and people who say, oh yeah, you're meant to be with that person. Like to me, you're meant to be in this energy right now because that's a part of your journey. Okay, like, but not everybody understands that. Like, everybody wants to hear the end result. Oh, I got to know if I'm going to marry this person. And it's like, we don't know. We don't ultimately know. None of us do. Even psychics, like, they can say it, but you have free will and you could change that destiny in a second. Only go to the altar if you take the lead. And I feel like, again, you're in this energy of expecting this person to make a decision to change their life around so that they can meet you. And in reality, this person actually brought into you deep healing, deep wound healing, so that you could be confident in yourself and find out who you are and have balance in your life. It says marriage isn't the only way to have a partner for life. Beautiful. Exactly. Like Source coming in saying, you know, I'm going to bring you a 3 of Cups, a reason to expand. But do you have to have a partnership love? Like, do you have to have romantic love, or can you be happy if it's a friendship? Can you be happy if it's a business partnership? Can you find peace in knowing that Source is bringing you someone that is going to connect with you deeply and that could potentially be there for life, but that doesn't mean it's a romantic partner. Does it have to be romance, pile 3? And I know this is something I still struggle with too. I think that's just part of the journey. It's like overcoming those beliefs that, oh, if we don't have romance in our life, that something's wrong with us. How many is this, Source? Okay, one more. All right. And that's not always easy, right? It's just not. It's like we're raised on Disney movies, which show us ending up with the prince. We're raised on love shows. Like when you become a teenager, it's always about finding the boyfriend in high school. You know, when you get older than that, you find all these love movies and TV shows, even in the cop shows and stuff like that. It's all about them hooking up and everything. And so all around us, all we ever see is people getting into relationships, and we don't realize how much of a societal belief has been imposed on us, saying that, oh, you have to get married, you have to find love, you have to do this. And it's like, but even if it's not love, people still stay together. Do you see? It's like you're healing some wound that is a deep belief, saying that, oh my gosh, like I have to have this person as love. Ooh, thank you, Source, for that clarification. Source just showed me another situation where some of you guys are actually going to build a friendship with this person because you guys tried the romantic side of things and it didn't work out for you. Now it's like going to open you up to setting those boundaries and realizing, again, not having to have sex with this person, but it's going to be fruitful and blossom and be very powerful. And this person is going to act as a foundation in your life for your confidence. Like, it's not that you're getting validation from them. It's just that this person believes in you so much. You feel that belief, and that's what brings ultimate healing to you. And that's what helps you plunge your subconscious, that belief of thinking you're not good enough, right? And being able to embrace and embody that divine feminine energy. That just came through so strongly right now. Too scared to say I love you. So I think this person does love you. I'm just going to say it. Like, this person does love you. They love you very deeply. But you didn't think they did because of the way they acted. And it's like they just couldn't act another way. It was like that's the way it had to happen. Like, there's nothing I can say, oh, well, they didn't say they loved you. And it's, you know, like they acted this way because they didn't love you. No, it's like they acted that way because this person right now does not know any other way to act. But you could be bringing enlightenment into their life as well as them bringing enlightenment into yours unknowingly. Look, okay, yeah, a toxic relationship. So for some of you guys, this is very toxic. But they do love you, right? Just because it's toxic doesn't mean someone can't love another person. But it's toxic because trying to be in love with this person is not working, because this person could put you in multiple third-party situations. This person could have multiple partners on the side. This person could be married. This person could be involved. Again, we have a lot of marriage energy coming out on the table, and not all of the cards talk about marriage. I mean, like, you've got Bianca Del Rio on the bottom, and she says, a unicorn is a horse with extra potential. True love is clearly illegal in most states. And she says, everyone needs that special someone who can stroke your hair while you cough with your head in the toilet. So again, they're not, I just bring this out. Like, I feel like this is relevant to you guys too. I don't want to go too deep into this, but I feel like this is just showing you guys that not all cards talk about marriage. There's actually very few that talk about marriage in this love deck, which is strange. But yeah, look, you are already love. Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't need this person to acknowledge love for you, because you know that you guys love each other. But at the end of the day, the thing is that Source is telling you, like, you're already a love being. Like, why do you need validation from another person? Why do you need that? Spring. Okay. Rebirth. So I did not put these down as a time frame. I just want this to be clear. I put all the seasons in here. Okay, we have fall or winter here, and we have spring. And for spring talks about rebirth. Spring talks about growth, new growth. Like, I feel like that's exactly what this connection brought into your life. I feel like maybe you were in a stagnation period, and then this connection happened, and it happened so fast, and it kind of blew up, and within a short time frame. Like, again, this is what's happening next month. It's like in this month time frame, it's like maybe that's all it took was 1 month for you guys to go from being stagnant to launching yourself into a state of growth and rebirth and transformation. Letting go, again, that energy of letting go of old beliefs. Let go of control and enjoy the ride. Exactly. Like, you're trying to control the outcome for it to be this person. And Source is just saying, like, stop trying to control what's going on. And rather just enjoy and see the silver lining, see the beauty in the situation, see what's happening in the situation for you. And, you know, really embrace that. It's okay. There's always hope. So again, it's like not losing hope. Like, just because it didn't work out now, it doesn't mean it won't work out in the future. But Source is saying, like, can you have hope and not control the situation? Right? Because I really feel like you guys did get along really well. I feel like there's this energy of just knowing and truly loving each other. Yeah, like synergy underneath strength, like that, and vulnerability. Yeah, this person couldn't show vulnerability to you. And that's what kept you guys in an imbalanced state. But that's what ultimately showed you your strength. Right? So synergy is all about balance. Like, I always liken it to the bees. When the bees take the pollen from the flowers, they pollinate other flowers, and that's why flowers grow. Without the bees, we wouldn't have that. And that's what synergy is. It's like one thing won't work without the other. And so Source is just pointing out here, this had to happen to re-energize your heart chakra. We have a lot of heart chakra energy coming through here. And remind you that being vulnerable is okay. And I feel like, again, you were very, didn't I say that at the beginning? I feel like you were very vulnerable and open with this person, but this person was not open and vulnerable with you. So again, that's a huge imbalance here. And I feel like that's what you're stuck on, is like, but I was so open with this person, what went wrong? And it's like, nothing went wrong. It's just Source, again, rejection is protection. And that's such a hard thing to come into, even for us. Like, you know, those of us been on the journey for a long time. And again, I feel like you guys are super spiritual, so you could have been on this journey for a long time. But just understanding, like, don't feel bad if you have a human moment. At the end of the day, we're all human. It's like, can you be okay with being human? Like, can you be okay with being human? And that's really what's going on here. And I feel like it's just, it's upsetting to you because it feels like you put so much time and effort into this connection. And it's like, really, at the end of the day, if this happened in even 6 months, I'm just going to say, if this happened to you guys in even a 6-month period, that is not a lot of time and effort and energy into anything. It might feel like it, but at the end of the day, it's like, if you've had a long-term relationship that lasted, you know, over 5 years or a decade or longer, then, you know, like 6 months is no time. Like, that's no time to have with somebody. And it might feel like it because it was new, and it might feel like it went by fast because, like, when you guys are together, time just flies. But again, Source is saying, like, don't lose hope. Maybe this person isn't meant to be your romantic partner. Maybe they're meant to be a friend, you know, and that's something that you're learning. Like, I feel like it's So I want to say members of the opposite sex here, but that doesn't even apply anymore because we have so many different types of relationships. And you know, I'm not here judging. Love is love. Like, Source brings love in all different ways. Again, with the Pitbull misunderstood showing up again right here, right? Because I'm cleaning off the table. But it's like people misunderstand what love can be. They think it should only be one way, and that's not the case. And I feel like that's why Source is asking me to talk about this right now, because I feel like with you guys, whatever kind of being you're attracted to, whomever that is, male, woman, transgender, or the other, okay, it doesn't matter. Whatever being you guys are attracted to, that's where the problem laid. It was like you had a hard time being friends with that kind of a being. So if it was somebody of the opposite sex, you had a hard time being friends with somebody of the opposite sex because it always looked like, to you, it had to be a love relationship, right? Or if you are with members of the same sex, it's like hard for you to find members of the same sex to be friends with because it always had to be a sexual relationship. Or if you're like a transgender and you wanted to be friends with a transgender, like it was hard for you to be friends with a transgender because it just opened up to that, I got to be in a sexual relationship. So you see, what you're healing is that energy of thinking that it always has to be a connection like this. And that's I don't know if you guys really truly understand the depth of that wound. You know, I'm not saying that it's not something you won't understand. I'm just saying, like, as people in general, not just you, pile 3, just as people in general, don't understand the depth of that wounding. You know, the first marriage that we have, regardless of your choice in love, right? Or regardless of whatever it is you are attracted to, it's not necessarily a choice. It's like, again, whatever you're attracted to. Our first relationship is with the parent of the opposite sex. Okay? And even if you grew up with parents who are the same sex, it doesn't matter. It's like whoever embodied the opposite energy that you did. So if you were a divine feminine, whoever embodied the masculine. Or if you're the masculine, it was whoever embodied the feminine. And that's what it's like, trying to understand that. It's like we don't realize how deeply that wound comes from. So it's like you had this energy of always trying to be accepted by the parent of the opposite sex. Okay, the opposite sexual energy. I don't know. How would you say that? The opposite energy of you, right? So again, back to if you're the femme and it was whoever was the masculine, it doesn't matter if you had 2 moms, 2 dads, or a mom and a dad. Okay, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. But whoever was in your life that embodied the masculine energy, that was the relationship that you had first because you're divine feminine, right? So whatever imbalances appeared there that's playing out right now, that's being triggered with this connection, with this grief that you're feeling. And the reason it's so heavy on your heart is because the connection that you felt like with this person is like home. It is, especially with that Cancerian energy coming out on the table. This person makes you feel like home. And that's why it was so rough and tough. And, you know, it's like, why did I have to go through that? Well, it happened in perfect timing. Whether you want to admit it or not, it happened in perfect timing, right? Whether we enjoy it or not is another thing. Like, that's not what the journey's about. What the journey's about is just learning the lessons and being able to forgive and move on. And I think in this, it's like forgiving this person for having you in. Look, I just split the deck and I got the Queen of Swords in the upright. We have the Queen of Swords in the upright over here. So yeah, there's like communicating some sort of forgiveness to this person as you go along, because it's like, if you don't communicate, this person's not going to know that they stepped over your boundaries. I don't think they intentionally did it. Like I said, I feel like it was subconscious. I feel like, but again, new levels, new devils. It's like, not that this person's a devil. This is just a statement that Source is trying to show you. It's like, as you grow, you're going to run into people who are more clever at the laws of manipulations, because not everybody's on the same level. Just like not everybody's on the same spiritual journey, right? Like there's just levels to this. Yeah, that's going to change your fortune. That's going to make you step out of this conformity and into something that's going to change your life for forever. And what is that? Becoming the Queen of Wands. That's what's going to happen here. You're going to communicate, become the Queen of Swords, and you're going to be able to set boundaries, becoming the Queen of Wands here, which is a beautiful energy to be in. You guys did everything you were supposed to do. Like, get through the emotion, feel the emotion of it and let it go. So that way you guys can allow your growth to come through, because it's really trying to come through in a very beautiful way. And I know it's scary. I know it's scary. So I love you guys, pile 3. This is a beautiful reading. You guys have a lot coming up in the next month. Hang in there. The ride's up and down and all around. But you know what? At the end of the day, in 10 years, you're going to look back and you're going to be like, I'm really glad that happened. 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 44 seconds on the clock as I say that. So I love you guys. Please like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel down below, set that notification bell so you always know when the next video does go live. With that being said, until next time, go forth boldly, my fellow creators, and courageously find creative ways to rise above in life, laughter, and love. Until we meet each other next time. Mwah. Peace out. I love y'all. Bye.